everyone, and welcome back to the stream. I hope you guys are doing well and having a wonderful week so far. Welcome in, Zenith. Congratulations on redeeming first, and welcome in, Bear Space. I'm so glad that you guys are excited for Dragon Age. Welcome in, Liam. It is Sarah. I'm glad it's recognizable. Yes, our costume for tonight is Sarah. I thought she would be fun to attempt. I'm really good at cutting a wig and making it look like a hacked up mess, and that's her hairstyle. That's her hairstyle, so I thought it would be fun, and I had this old wig that the back of it was hacked up kind of poorly, so I figured I've not worn this wig for a while, let's make it Sarah. I think she would be fun. Dal, welcome in. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Blue, welcome in. How are you? I hope you're doing so well. Anyway, tonight we're playing Dragon Age Inquisition. I know the thing we're going to be focusing on is Cullen's quest with Samson. Hopefully we get to kill him. Hey, get in there. How are you? I'm glad to hear that you're hanging in there. I hope things go very well for you. I'm doing pretty well. I've been having Minecraft brainworms real bad. We've been playing a lot of Minecraft lately. I'm sure as Dove knows, I did build a giant house for our little monster village, kind of close to Dove's house. Samson was helping mages in Dragon Age 2. I know he was, but now he's fucking shit up. Now he's doing horrible things with Red Lyrium and Corypheus. Hacked up mess and even tartan pattern, Sarah would approve. Okay, Tate, I was going through, also welcome in, Tate, I hope you're doing well. I was going through my closet, like, I don't have anything that looks like leather armor, but I do have, like, plaid and tartan, and that's, if there's anything that I think of when I think of Sarah, that's what it is. Excuse me while I get my gold encrusted hair cutting whatever's. Scissors. The word is scissors. Yeah, I told my friends, when I was telling my, like, IRL cosplay friends that I was hacking a wig up, I was like, she looks like she took a pair of scissors and closed her eyes, and I love that for her. I love characters whose hairstyle is, like, they just kind of fucked around with scissors. Because I know Lane from Serial Experiments Lane, that was, like, the same, thing that they had in mind when they made her design, where she took, like, a part of her hair, put it in a ponytail, and hacked the rest off. Love that. Been playing Daredevil and feeling very flashy. Ooh, sick. I still have not updated Marvel Rivals. But I'm glad you're enjoying the new character. Need one strand of hair to really sell it. Not the single strand of hair. Welcome in, Barmy. I hope you're doing well. Sarah would want you to take off the ears. She would, but I feel like the ears also help sell that it's Sarah and I'm not just out here in a hacked up wig for the love of the game. Which I kind of am in it for the love of the game, but I think the ears also sell it as Sarah. And you know what? She's just gonna have to get over it. Hopefully she has a nice little getting over internalized racism arc. I've heard she does have one, but it's like off screen, potentially between games. I don't know. Anyway, that's enough yapping. I'm ready to play Dragon Age. I'm so excited for Dragon Age. I do want to give a warning for our YouTube friends. So for the past, like, 2 weeks, my internet cuts out for a couple of minutes every single night. So for the past several streams, that's been happening. So if that happens tonight, if my stream just abruptly ends, I'm not done. I'll be back. It's just a little frustration that we have to deal with currently. Not me clicking into OBS like that was gonna let me play the game. Anyway, she's fine with it. You're not Danish. As long as I'm not being too elfy, I'm sure she'll be okay. Whatever that means for her. Sarah cosplay, yeah! Welcome in Twisted Beach, I hope you're doing well. I thought a Sarah cosplay would be fun. I think next Tuesday, I'm torn between, like, trying an Anders cosplay or a Zevran cosplay. I think either would eat. I think either would be fun. On Friday, I'm flying back home. 3 weeks of Turkey is coming to an end. I hope you've been having a wonderful time, though, Blue. Anders, you vote for Anders Tate? The fun thing about an Anders cosplay is I'm gonna have to... He very visibly has, like, facial hair. I'm gonna have to see if I can figure out how to do that and it not just look like I put eyeshadow on my face. Which is what I did, like, one time when I, like, tried a little Gale cosplay for the vibes. Sarah chose internalized racism over internalized homophobia. That I was thinking about that earlier. For anybody who doesn't, let me start that over. I was thinking about that earlier, and I think the thing that spurred that, like, thought process is I'm a big Dan and Phil person. I have been ever since I was, like, 14 or 15 years old. And Dan and Phil recently, and by recently I mean yesterday, posted a video where they were talking about their relationship. And if anybody who doesn't keep up with them, Dan has been very open about the fact that he's had a lot of internalized homophobia and, like, things that he needed to get over. So I was thinking about that in Sarah. I'm thinking a lot about Sarah today while I, like, hacked up her wig. And I was like, damn, they could have done that storyline with her, but they didn't. I'm kind of glad they didn't really do that with Dorian either. He had external homophobia to deal with. Internalized just would have been like, let that man rest, please. She does not care for the preservation of the elven people. Which is wild. But I was thinking about that, like, so Sarah, I don't think, she's a city elf, so I don't think she really, like, had any ties to, like, elven culture that she felt attached to. And she kind of, like, gives me the vibes of, like, somebody who grew up very disconnected from their heritage in that kind of sense. So she's like, why does it matter? It's stupid, and all it's done is made my life more difficult. Are we ready to go to the war table? I think we are. Let's go find Samson's weakness. Something Meryl very much worries about if you romance her as a friend. Oh. They're like the two polar opposites. You lost my actual mind, Dove. Dove, that was a big day. I thought they were clickbaiting again. Because for anyone who doesn't watch Dan and Phil, when they brought their gaming channel back a couple years ago, they've been clickbaiting and making fun of, like, the fandom like crazy. So I saw the notification. I was like, is fan real? Sure. I wonder what game they're playing. I wonder what this video is. But I didn't watch it because I was, like, in a Discord call with my friends. And my, like, Hannah got in the call and she's like, Mel, did you see? And I was like, what do you mean? I thought they were just being silly goofy, but it was actually a serious video. There's also Varric's quest you want to do. Yes, I know that is also on the agenda. We gotta handle Varric and his whole thing. First, try talking to Cassandra, so you might have something. Oh? Okay, well, we'll back out of this. Have you been? It feels like it's been 10 years. It's been 4 days. I've been good, Zenith. I've been good. Anybody who was here Saturday, I don't know what happened with my contact lens, but I think it did kind of, like, scratch my eye a little bit. But it got completely better yesterday, but I'm still scared to wear contact lenses, which is also part of why I'm, like, just doing Sarah tonight, because her eye color is the same as mine. We're, like, pretty close. Alright, Cassandra girly, are you outside in the grass? I can always count on Cassandra to touch grass. The end of the month, I have a job interview for the Justice Department of my state. Good luck, Blue! I hope it goes well! It was forever ago, but I think you cut bits of the wig hair and I forgot a safe way of applying it. Glue will come back off, but it doesn't feel safe. I've seen that. I have seen people do that. The thing about, like, for Anders, I don't actually have a wig that's perfect for him. And I think if I don't use my real hair, the wig I have in mind, I don't really want to cut it. I don't really want to cut it. But maybe we could, girl, maybe we could. That is a good idea, Barmy.
Planning troop movements now?
I'm trying to imagine what it will look like when we're done. All of this once belonged to the Tevinter Imperium. Andraste changed that, as did the Blights. As for what will come next, I cannot guess the Maker's plan.
Well, girl, it's probably gonna be up to us to rebuild, if I'm being quite honest. It's funny how human characters never seem to have internalized racism in fantasy. I think it's because humans are supposed, I don't know. I want to say they're probably supposed to be seen as like the default that like the audience is supposed to relate to. But I actually don't know, and at this point I am just making shit up. But yeah, I think it's probably something to do with that because it's like made by humans. I don't know. That's my thought process on that. I think under some circumstances, Meryl can call Fainriel a flat ear out of jealousy for the Keeper appearing to care about him more than her. Oh, that's rest in peace. Not the flat ear. That is wild. My friend and I watched it together and they were like, I'm so scared I'm getting clickbaited. Dove, I was so confident. I got the little notification on my phone. I said, oh, okay, sure. Because they've had like a few titles that kind of sounded like that in the past. And it was definitely them like clickbaiting. And I was like, you know what? We deserve it. As a longtime fan of theirs, we deserve it. Anders feels old enough to have permanent 5 o'clock shadow that never comes out. And that's what Anders' character model looks like, to be honest, Barmy. It's just exactly what his character model looks like. If you have orange cat plushie, you can put it on the head instead of the wig. Instantly recognizable Anders. It's a Bounce-a-Lot cosplay. So I do have a stuffed cat that is orange. I don't think it'll give that same vibe, but we could try it. I've seen some fan art of, it was Anders and Sebastian fan art, but them as cats, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cute. This is adorable. Give me Malfry, I have sinned. I swear I just needed space on my PS5. Did you delete Baldur's Gate 3? Is that what that's about? I could never. You must have really needed space on your PlayStation.
We make the world a better place.
Because everyone agrees on what better means. I know I want a world where people trust the Chantry and that trust is respected.
Well,
I want to respect tradition, but not fear change. I want to right past wrongs, but not avenge them. And I have no idea if my wanting these things makes any of them right.
What the fuck does it mean to right past wrongs but not avenge them? That's so, like, nothing. Girl, what do you mean? Because I think we have different... I will 110% admit that when it comes to the Chantry and their wrongs, I 100% zero in on the mistreatment of mages and elves. And at that point, I feel like making it right would be seen as also avenging it, depending on who you talk to. Like, girl, what are we saying? You too idealistic to that is crazy, because that's the most, like, nothing statement. Like, I want to be a normal person, but, like, I don't want to commit to it. Girl. Hope it's room for Bloodborne. Oh, Zenith on his Bloodborne arc. With every press of my buttons, I was screaming internally, rest in peace, Zenith. Vengeance is about your emotional satisfaction. I guess. That's a good way to put it. That is a good way to put it. There's a difference between justice and vengeance. It's that simple. That is a very good way to put it. I think I have been misrepresenting to myself what vengeance means, because I'm just, a lot of the fiction that I've read where, like, the character's like, I'm trying to get vengeance, it's really just, we're just gonna kill the people that, like, killed my family kind of vibe. So at that point, like, yeah, it's vengeance, but also it's, like, eye for an eye, which feels kind of different than this. All of these options are terrible. You know what? She means well. And I feel like if I say I don't want the same things, it's like, girl, we want to keep things horrible. Cassandra's ready to be a politician. She's got the speak down just perfect. Veneer walls for this one reason. I just guessed. Plus it's spooky season. That is so fair. Too idealistic might stop her from becoming the divine. Oh, do I have to shut her down? But also, she's not too idealistic. I'm not gonna lie to her. Welcome in, Blue Violet. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Okay. Based on what I think these mean, telling her that's admirable seems like the closest to being like, that's a great start. We could start there for sure. Sure.
Even if they're not right, they're certainly admirable.
Some would disagree.
He
They would
really
call it
said,
heresy.
girl, you could be
That
wrong,
didn't
but
sound
that's
like the
fine.
ravings of a heretic, Cassandra.
Perhaps not. But it takes precious little effort to paint even an act of compassion as damaging.
Girl, that's okay. If she's divine, she begs you to take
Tell
her
me,
with you.
What guides you?
Take her with me? Where am I going?
You make
I gotta get to the end of the game
decisions that
first.
shape the world, yet always seem so assured. I wish I had your confidence.
Well, honestly, I obey my conscience, truly. You admire me? Anyway, I do want to ask about that. Pretty sure you can support Liliana at the war table after talking to her. I really do want to support Liliana. I think if she's like, because I trust her not to fuck people over that don't deserve it. And I trust her not to uphold oppression. I think Cassandra still has a long way to go to realize that you have to change the system to fix things. You can't just fix things with the same system. This is not Baldur's Gate. It's close, though. We're playing Dragon Age Inquisition. The Dragon Age games are kind of similar to Baldur's Gate in the sense that it's like high fantasy role-playing game. They're very good. I enjoy them a lot. Oh, you mean fighting? There's no war table mission for her. Oh, okay. Interesting. Take her with you to the next adventure. Right, okay. I think I was assuming that making her divine is at the end of the game.
You almost sound like you admire me.
I absolutely do. I may not always.
I should have been
agree with
kissing
your
her this whole
decisions,
time. What have I been
but how
doing?
many could do what you have done? You were a prisoner, accused and reviled, yet you've emerged from every trial victorious. The Maker's grace does not make you immortal. You live or die by your own hand. That is worthy of admiration.
I really need to get a polyamory mod for these Dragon Age games. Because what do you mean I have all these baddies to pick from? She begs you to take her wolf hunting and trespasser. Oh, right. Okay. Cool. I admire you. I would be on my knees proposing immediately. I really do like Cassandra. I think she's interesting and she's pretty.
I'm guided by what my conscience tells me.
Your conscience must speak more clearly than mine.
Girl.
I doubt it, but I do my best.
When we first met, if someone told me I would be pleased to have you lead me, I would have throttled them.
Yeah,
But
we're
I
not
am.
really much of a leader.
The Maker chose well.
I hope we're friends. I really do hope we're friends. I do think it's funny. She's like, wow, how do you make all these choices? And it's like, girl, I just, whatever is, hey, people should be treated like people. Let's stop being weird about mages. That's literally like the only thing we go off of. Seems interesting, but the design looks a bit older than Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah, so this game in particular came out in 2014. I think. We played 2 of the older games as well. I think the first one came out in 2009, so it is a little bit older than Baldur's Gate 3. Alright, I do hope we're friends.
We can call each other friends.
I hope so too.
You can still
We still
data
have a
mine the
long
audio
road to
files.
travel, Inquisitor. Wherever
Oh.
it takes us, I'm glad you're here.
Something I didn't mention is they cut a scene in the intro where she saves you from an angry mob who tries to lynch you for killing the divine. Oh, that's why. I kind of wish they would have kept that. But I guess, I don't know. I like how we were unsure about her trusting us at the start, and I kind of liked that, like, slow burn of, like, I don't really know about you, but, like, maybe we'll give it a shot. But also her saving you, I think that could have been really cool. Cal, welcome in. How are you? I hope you're doing well. We've just been thirsting for Cassandra. That's really all we've done so far. Welcome in, Ashfinder. How are you? I hope you're doing well. All right, let's go find Samson's weaknesses for real now. She's who I romanced in my game. Yeah, okay. I absolutely adore Dorian, and I love that I'm romancing him. But they're making it such a hard choice when, like, Cassandra's right there. Gave her fanfic. And that's so cute. I love that. I know you guys were telling me a little bit about, like, giving her fanfic before. Is this a Ferelden mission? It's probably not a Ferelden mission. Red Templars on the Storm Coast. Reports indicate that Red Templars have taken over an old dwarven port on the Storm Coast, granting them a foothold in Ferelden, as well as easy access to the Waking Sea. The port itself provides a strong defense from outside attack. Full assault by our soldiers might eventually yield results, but not without high casualties. Smaller group may have better luck infiltrating their stronghold. Okay. So that is a Liliana for sure. When I played as a dude, I romanced Cassandra, and I romanced Cullen when I played as a lady. I think if I, like, played as a lady, I would romance Sarah. Or Josephine. Is Josephine romanceable by girly pops as well? Definitely Sarah, though. I think romancing Sarah would be very fun. Oh, I don't want to go there now. Okay. All of our plot stuff has been in Orlais, so I don't know why I was checking for Ferelden first. Judgment? Oh, Service the Venatori, who offered to help the Inquisition after his capture, has provided a tip on the whereabouts of some old magical artifacts he shipped out of the western approach. He claims he requires a small squadron of helpers and a decent amount of coin to recover them for the Inquisition. We cannot fully trust this man, and he knows it. I will give him his helpers and send an unseen spy along. Okay, girl.
Let's see what we have.
Is this game good? I think so. I love this game. I've not finished it yet, but so far it has been very fun. Josephine is bi. Sick. Okay. Then if I were to ever play as a girl, it would be between Sarah and Josephine. Probably Sarah first, since I could romance Josephine as anyone. Everyone can kiss her, which is so slay. Possibly asexual, her romance is the least saucy. Oh, that's so cool. Love that. I love that. Do we need to do a side quest in order to beat this game, or is it just companion missions are enough to get strong enough? I'm gonna have to relay that question to chat, because I honestly don't know. This is my first playthrough, and I have been doing a lot of side quests. I think you do have to do some side quests to gain power to, like, progress in the game. But I'm gonna need input from chat to answer that question. I missed it. Does Josie already have flowers on her table? Oh, I don't know. We're gonna have to go look. Okay. Severus delivered the artifacts as promised. The spy we sent to watch him caught him taking a trinket, an expensive bauble, really, for his personal collection. Severus returned it without hesitation, claiming he wished to see if we were intelligent enough to watch a newly defected agent. Then he gave us the location of a cache of jewels and coin the Venatori had hidden just outside the approach. I suspect he was hoping he'd be caught. The mage enjoys being slippery. A man like that is not so hard to nudge in the direction we require. Okay, sick. Where is present for Bianca? This is the one you have to do side quests, gain agent, secure camps. No way that... Okay, so yeah, YouTube chat did answer your question, Geraldo. You do need to do side quests. You cannot ignore them. Okay, Liliana, heard your little birdies have had recent success picking up shiny things for the Inquisition. Maybe you can help me out. One of the apprentice smiths saw me walking by with my Bianca, and we struck up a conversation. The apprentice said he once met a Formari mage named Provident, who had ideas for improving the precision of siege engines, and wondered if they could be adapted for Bianca. And then he got into phrases like recoil dampening and rectilinear motion, and I politely excused myself. Could you tell your magpies to keep an eye out for Provident or his designs? Obviously, I don't have trouble with Bianca's accuracy, but she does like it when Teddy gets her new fittings. Love that for them. I should have had more faith in my agents. Of course they tracked down Provident. who has sought shelter from the Mage Templar conflict with a wealthy Navaran patron. We provided a brief description of Bianca, and Provident adapted the design for a leaf spring stabilizer to suit one of her stocks. Oh, sick! Okay. Oh, maybe the Samson thing isn't for Relden. Because there's Arcanist in the Fade? The Inquisitor has suffered exposure to the tears of the... Oh, yeah. Okay. Tears of the Veil and the energy of the Fade. To properly help him endure these forces, I need to understand them. I need samples. I need remnants. Yeah, we can get her remnants. Josephina's my first in this game, and that she's good. She's so cute and pretty, and I love her. This is not a game you zoom through. It's just a matter of pacing yourself with side content. Or you could just play like me, where you zero in on things. Like, I think there for a while I got so zeroed in on, like, doing side quests that I thought we had to do a whole bunch of side quests before we even did, like, the main plots of, like, Wicked Eyes or Here Lies the Abyss. And that was kind of funny of me. Alright, Dagna was supplied with remnants of exposures to the rifts and the Fade, and she has done something. It is perhaps best to contain her efforts to the Undercroft from now on. That's wild. Okay. It's gathering there we go! It wasn't for Eldon. The red lyrium is very strange. How Samson's armor hasn't killed him, I don't know. I can find out, but it'll be time and money. Tools, tests, and some books I remember from a circle or two, if they aren't stolen or burned. In which case, I'll need to write them, and ink isn't cheap. Alright. With the right investment, nothing is beyond our reach. Beautiful. Dagna has forwarded what she learned about Samson's strange armor. Her glee over her discovery is disconcerting, but her information may prove invaluable. We should speak at your earliest convenience. Alright. Let's go speak with Cullen. You are one for zooming. I just get very tunnel vision in games. This has been a flaw of mine ever since I, like, learned what a video game is. I have always played games like this. It's a problem. Alright, do I remember how to get out to Cullen without breaking my ankles? I'm sure I can figure it out. There we go. Remitting Josie as a Femdorf is so funny because she has two scenes that are clearly were directed with someone taller in mind. I feel like a lot of games that let you play as a dwarf or like a gnome or something are kind of like that. I did see, it might have been a Baldur's Gate 3 cutscene. But I did see they like stuck a dwarf or like a gnome, like the shorter races, just on a stool in the cutscene, so like the heights matched, and I thought that was really silly. But that's wild. I know exactly what you mean. Was it bad, or was it just like goofy?
No red lyrium, no allies, and soon Samson will have no armor, I hope.
You hope?
Dagna's started work on her red lyrium samples, but she needs more details on the armor. We found orders in the mine. They mention Maddox, a name I did not expect to hear.
Okay. I'm assuming you know Maddox. What was the cutscene? I want to know. Goofy but very cute. Barbie, they're talking about one of Josephine's romance cutscenes. Or I guess like the... Well, no, because they did say two scenes. They're talking about Josephine romance cutscenes. I'm glad it's goofy, but also cute still. Because, like, sometimes when it's like that, it comes off as, like, oh, they really just were not expecting me to play a dwarf or, like, a shorter race, which is wild. Like, at that point, why put it in the game? But I'm glad it does not come off that way. I like that in Baldur's Gate 3, if you play as a Dragonborn, Halsin kisses you on top of the snoot. That's adorable. I played as a Dragonborn and for my Karlach kisser run, and they were very cute. But I did notice that was the first time I had like done Astarion's Act 1 romance scene, as somebody that's not like the little Twinkie build, as one of the, like the bigger body types that you could do, and I didn't know that like you could pick him up, and I thought that was really fun. And like the way it changes based on like the physique that you pick is really cool. I think it's fun little details when they actually like make changes based on that. Just fun solution to a species with no lips, isn't it? It's so cute. I love that for the House and Dragonborn romancers.
Samson's letter said something about taking over as the vessel.
Perhaps it's a rank among the Red Templars. It could be a title from ancient Tevinter. Or it's some other role Corypheus has planned for Samson, and Maddox is part of it.
Okay, Cullen and I had very different interpretations upon hearing about the vessel, because that sounded like he was getting prepped for possession. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. So is Maddox a homie? One where you pick her up and twirling her around, and the other where you kiss and she puts up her leg in the stereotypical romance cliche way. Oh, that's so cute. That is very cute. I'm gonna have to look those up, because that sounds really silly.
Another voice from your past?
In a way, this is complicated. Maddox was a mage in Kirkwall's circle. Samson smuggled letters between him and his sweetheart. Eventually, Samson was caught. That's why he was cast out of the order. Maddox was made tranquil and became a skilled craftsman of magical items. Samson must have rescued him.
Rescued? He was made tranquil for that? Yeah, that's
I can't believe
crazy.
they made a man tranquil over a few love letters.
The official charge was corrupting the moral integrity of a Templar. Knight Commander Meredith wielded the brand for far lesser offenses, believe me.
Oh, I do. I did play Dragon Age 2. I believe you. Alright, rescued him from what, per se?
Why would Maddox need saving?
When the mages rebelled in Kirkwall, the worst battles took place at the gallows in the circle itself. I thought Maddox had died in the fighting, or was eking out a living on the streets. A hard fate for a tranquil in Kirkwall. Samson must have found him, taken him in.
Samson has some humanity left. That's kind of the vibe we've been playing this whole game.
Perhaps there's something left of the man Samson used to be.
Or he's shrewd enough to know an extraordinary resource. It seems Maddox built Samson's armor for him, and maintains it still. Tranquil and Kirkwall needed rare and expensive supplies for their enchantments. Supplies we can trace. I can have our men kick down some doors, Inquisitor. Samson's armor might lead us right to his stronghold.
Okay. This sounds like a plan. Before the dawn. Dispatch agents to locate okay. That sounds like War Table. This is one of those... I'm pretty sure this is still a character quest.
Inquisitor.
But it does feel like we're about to start... Oh, wrong doors. Like we're progressing the plot. Alright. Oh, yeah. We need to check Josie's desk for flowers. Y'all asked about that. I don't think she has flowers. Can I get her flowers? I've not spoken to her in a while.
Is the mark on your hand magic cast by Corypheus?
Corypheus claimed it's a spell gone wrong.
I wanted to think it was a blessing. A sign the Maker was returning to his creation. How credulous of me. We did kind of start to believe it was holy, because that was all the answers we were getting for a while. We'll level with her.
I thought the same thing about the anchor, Josephine.
I suppose neither of us could have known what your mark was until now. Does it hurt? The anchor, that is.
I'm alright.
It looks strange, but
no flowers yet. Maybe they do need the banter first then.
That's a small mercy.
Does Josephine hook up with somebody? Does she find love in the Inquisition? I hope she does. She deserves it. Banter is few and far between. Who do I need? Is it banter between party members or not the note? Josephine, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry she's been cursed. I thought maybe it was gonna be a fun little, like, Dorian and Iron Bull situation. Blackwall? It's Blackwall banter? Okay. We do have Blackwall on the party a lot. Alright. Where would Kirk... Okay. This quest feels Kirkwall related, but I don't know where Kirkwall is in relation to Ferelden and Orlais. Oh. This is probably it. Using Maddox as a lead, Cullen has begun to hunt down anyone providing equipment and supplies that Maddox might need for Samson's armor. Lyrium, regents, dwarven tools, and so on. Cullen is arranging patrols along roads and bridges for any sign of Samson's forces trading and moving equipment.
To work?
Alright. We track Samson's remaining Red Templars escorting a supply caravan to a hidden location in the wilderness. It could be his headquarters. I expect verification before the hour is over. I've already begun preparing a squadron of soldiers to accompany us. Allow me to debrief you in person when your duties permit. Well, yeah, we're headed straight there. Don't even worry about it, girlie. We are zeroing in on Cullen's quest. I kind of want to know just how long I've been putting this off. Kirkwall's on the Ferelden side. It's the one where all of Varric's War Table missions are on, north of the river. Okay, so I was just grossly misunderstanding where the mission we just did at the War Table was supposed to be. Because when we spoke to Cullen, he was talking about Kirkwall as like a starting point. So I was like, clearly the War Table's going to be in Kirkwall. It was not. Desi, welcome in. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Thanks for dropping in to say hello. Kirkwall is where Maddox and Samson's backstory was. Right, okay. That does make sense. I just kind of, I don't know why I thought everything else was also going to be in Kirkwall.
What have you found?
We have him, Inquisitor. We found Samson's lair.
It really
My
wanted me to
duties
look at
usually
his
keep me
face.
here, but for Samson, I'll make an exception.
It'll be good to have you.
Looking forward to fighting by your side, Commander.
Likewise, Inquisitor. We'll
Are
depart at your leave.
Are you gonna be like auto leveled up? How are you gonna join us? Am I gonna... The Shrine of Dumont? Where is the Shrine of Dumont? I'm ready to go. I just... Okay. It's a new location. Right, so we need Dorian. You know, just like... I've been seeing a lot of Vivian love on the Twitter timeline, and it has led me to believe I think I'm still missing a lot about her character. Am I going to be miserable if I bring all mages? Because I kind of want to do an all mages run. How? Just a lot of people talking about like the nuances of her character, and I'm like, I mean, I believe these people, but also like, it's probably, I think a lot of it is probably tied to like her approval, because I know she hates me because I'm bad at politics and very pro mage in a way that she does not like. You've seen all there is to see. I have. So okay, so it's definitely like just differences in approval. I was just wondering if there was more, but I do still want to do an all mages group. Were you with Hanukkah-kun? I've not watched any more since we last spoke, Desi. I've not picked it back up. I'm gonna watch more later this week, though. Just realized I can ask which cosplay you're doing. I'm curious. We're actually dressed up as Sarah from this game. This girl. Slacks behind banter because game design is hard. Oh, rest in peace. People think she's secretly good because of a one piece of banter with Cole. Interesting. Yeah, I know we don't take her out much, so I know there's a lot of like banter and her interacting with the other characters that we've not seen. So I was wondering if I was just like missing something. I asked my mom who does. She agrees with Charlie that people can change or loot. People can't change. She said Charlie. I'm like, well, I agree with Loot because she's right. People don't change. Wait. Who are these characters? Twisted Beach, what characters are you talking about? A lot of love for Vivian comes from people who push back on all the excessive racism and misogyny thrown at her. Oh, interesting. Okay. I will say a lot of the people I've seen talking about her are also very loud about loving women. And say all you want about Vivian, that is a beautiful woman. So like I think there also might be a little bit of lust. And I know a lot of people very much like if they like a character, regardless of how the character's written, they're gonna like do everything in their power to make that character feel like a good person, whether they are or not. Oh, from Has Been Hotel. Okay, the names are familiar, but I was like not placing them. I think people do have the capacity to change, but I think it depends on, like, in the instance of, like, the context of Has Been Hotel, I think it definitely does depend on, are we talking about, like, my train of thought completely derailed. I do think people do have the capacity to change, but I also think that there are, like, some people, or, like, some things that are so heinous, if you, like, do that thing, the hopes of you being a good person out the window. Like, there are just certain, like, crimes. Crimes against people that feel like, I don't think there's any walking back from that. But, like, the main cast of Has Been Hotel, aside from Alistair, who we know is a serial killer, they're just, like... And I think I'm mostly speaking of Angel Dust, because I know we know a lot about Angel Dust. That is just a victim of circumstance.
The heart of Samson's command.
I don't see him anywhere.
Oh.
Or hear him.
Why? Make her tell me he hasn't fled.
I think somebody else might have beat us here to it. Anyway, Vivian Wood, truly, she's very pretty. There was a reason I was very sad to find out that we were not going to get along. Sarah does not get the same love, mostly because she's not conventionally attractive like Viv is. I think Sarah is cutie. I think Sarah's very cute. Her haircut is not conventionally attractive. That's true. I also think part of Sarah's issue is a lot of people just find her really annoying, and it's easier... Like, Vivian is absolutely not annoying. She is pleasant to speak with, unless I'm feeling bad about getting disapproval, which is most of the time. She has a really nice, like, smooth voice as well, and she makes sense when she speaks. Those are things that you can't exactly say about Sarah, and I think that is also part of it, because if there's one thing a fictional character is never going to be able to, like, be redeemed from, it's being annoying. And also, Sarah just... I know she's a full-grown adult. She is a full-grown adult. But she comes off very immature, or, like, she feels like she's, like, 19. And I think some people just aren't as into that as they would be somebody like Vivian, who comes off as a lot more mature. I think could also contribute to that. But yeah, I don't know, a lot of the Dragon Age accounts that like pop up on my timeline are like big girly lovers, and they also do like Sarah. But I believe you guys when you tell me that like she's very hated and that people don't like her, because I know how fans of things can be. Not as openly cruel as Sarah can be. Vivian is very calculated, but like she's cruel in the way that a lot of like politicians in stories are cruel. Like that's kind of her game. Seeing character aspects only if you have their approval is both really interesting and something that sounds kind of upsetting to me, because I feel like I want to know these characters enough without having enough of their approval, because I may not like a character and therefore not care to have their approval but still be curious / could end up loving them if I knew info the game left out. This game is just mean in general. No, that's fair, that's fair. I also agree. I do think in some aspects, like for Baldur's Gate 3, for example, there are some aspects to the Emperor's character that are a lot less pronounced, or you may not even come across them at all unless you're actively hostile towards him, that I think help paint a bigger picture of what this man is like. but also I think you get enough puzzle pieces to figure that out anyway without being openly hostile towards him. But yeah, I was just curious about Vivian because like it's not that I'm not giving her a chance. She's just not a part of my dream team that I feel like I play the best with. And I'm very, 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 like, I think mages should be treated like people, where that's not her ideal for whatever reason.
This place is already half destroyed.
That's what I'm saying.
Sack his headquarters so we couldn't.
Not the sacking his headquarters so we couldn't.
What a pity.
You're so right. What a pity.
Still, we've dealt Samson a blow.
Okay. Well, they had this the supply crate there, which makes me think we're probably gonna still find Samson. Never done this quest. I always forget about it. Listing all the new stuff in this playthrough. Wait, this quest feels like it would directly impact the plot or like help it move along. But it is like I know it's a companion quest. That is so interesting. I'm the kind of person that I feel like I have to do all the companion quests when I play a game. Like so one of my IRL friends, the way they played Baldur's Gate 3 is they zeroed in on one companion and then like didn't really do all of the other quests. And I was like, first of all, I'm not even saying this as an Astarian lover. How did you play through the game and not like see Cazador? Like, what do you mean? You didn't go there at all? You just ignored the quest? Or like you didn't do all these other character quests? Like that baffles me. Who is your dream team? So Dorian is my boyfriend, so he has to be on the team at all times. And then Cole and Blackwall. I feel like we do numbers with those three. Dorian and yeah, no, Dorian, Blackwall, and Cole. I think we do a lot with them. It's like people think she's pretty, but I do, and I'm special. Fuck everyone. Damn, that's crazy. When I first played this game, I saw Sarah, and you could see hearts in my eyes. I was 12 when I first saw her. You're so real for that, though. You're so real for that. I think Sarah is very cute. And I do like her a lot. Okay. And then we get Vivian. What's your special stuff? Night Enchanter. Clearly. Okay. Oh, we have a lot of points for you. There it is. There we go. I clicked on him out of order. Viv and Sarah suffer from botched personal quests when they should be thematically important, like how you deal with circle remnants and little people. Oh, that sucks that it got botched. But yeah, I do think, like, thematically those should have been bigger. Because I feel like that works very well with, like, the story that it feels like they're trying to tell most of the time in this game. People in media have such a weird way of measuring out how childish a female character is. So it's like, I don't know these characters, but I'm taking what people say about Sarah with a grain of salt. Somehow in her corner and feel defenses of her all of a sudden. So, Desi, Sarah is a little bit like Robin Hood in the sense that she's like, fuck the rich people, we're gonna steal from them, and like, let's screw, like, eat the rich kind of vibe. She's very fun. My past experience is making me biased. No, Desi, we've been in the same fandom trenches. It's a little bit of a Lizzie situation, but with like the sense of like people probably think she's more annoying than she actually is. To me, by your own party members is maddening. Makes Samson an easier boss fight, I think, but he's already pathetically weak. Oh, rest in peace. Rest in peace. Downside of this mission is that the one you get for siding with the Templars nets you Corypheus' diary. I could have been having Corypheus' diary? That's wild. That's actually really cool. Female characters can be very mature and someone who's clearly been through a lot, but fandoms will shit on them for no reason and dumb them down so much. When I say Sarah comes off as, like, immature, Desi, it's, like, more so her personality. Not that, like, she's naive, but that she's got, like, a very childish look on things. Like, for example, she's very, very against magic, but she uses magic potions in her, like, abilities, and this man that keeps walking around back here is a magic user, and he was, like, trying to talk to her about her use of magic, and she's like, girl, it's not magic, and sometimes you just have to let her believe what she believes, even if it's, like, wrong. But I think she has, like, sometimes a very, like, childish and, like, simplistic view of things, which I don't, oh, shit, they're kind of fucking me up out here. Get me out of this, please. Please let me out of these front lines. Okay. I needed Blackwall or Cassandra here for this. Sarah, girl, make it make sense. No, we love Sarah, even if she is nonsensical at times. People love to infantilize Meryl when she's literally just a fish out of water. I think with Meryl, I don't think this is something that people intentionally do, but Meryl very much gives, like, she's just autism. And I know a lot of people infantilize autism and, like, grown-ass adults that they perceive as neurodivergent. Like, you see this a lot with, like, certain Minecraft creators as well that people assume are autistic, and then they treat, like, grown-ass men in their mid to late 30s like they're toddlers. And it's really bizarre. But I think that's like part of Meryl is she's, like, very neurodivergent, so, like, she's just different. But also absolutely fish out of water. And I love that about her. She's so excited to be there. She's literally in the alienage, and she's like, I'm having a great time, even though the living conditions are horrible. And, like, I watched somebody get mugged the other day, but, like, that was cool. I love her. Coryfish Diary, day 1, Dumont, day 2, Dumont, day 154, Dumont. That's wild. I don't think I quite get this joke just yet. But I'm sure it's very funny. Journal is only in the one where you side with the Templars and kill Alistair's. I would never do that. I simply would never. So I'm gonna have to look up his diary on the internet. Every Dragon Age game since 2 has both as, "Ah, you're so sweet," and a "hello, human resources"
Hello,
autistic
Inquisitor.
character.
You know me.
It's Maddox, Samson's tranquil. Something's wrong. I'll send for the healers.
That would be a waste, Knight Captain Cullen. I drank my entire supply of Blightcap essence. It won't be long now.
Not this man, like, I'm killing myself. Don't even bother. Marilyn Fenris, Colin, Sarah, Balara, and Tash. Ooh, okay. I was about to ask who, because I know Cole. We've talked about Cole before. I wouldn't have necessarily clocked Sarah, but maybe, maybe she's the kind of autism where it's like, I don't see it because it's like how a lot of people in my family are. My family has a history of autism. So, there are some things that I think are probably, like, traits of autism that are so normal to me that I forget that that's traits of autism. But no, Fenris also makes sense. That's why we get along so well. I'm excited to meet Balara and Tash. Is Tash also the non-binary character, or is that Nev? I think that might be Nev, actually. I don't know. I might have made that up. I know Veilguard does have a non-binary character. I'm very excited to see if they're, like, a cool non-binary character, or if they're, like, baby's first exposure to non-binary. She has some traits of being non-verbal. Very irritated when people keep talking. That's fair. That's Tash. The non-binary character discovers their identity. Okay, that's fair. Baby's first non-binary. And you know what? I'll take it. I feel like there are not a lot of explicitly non-binary characters in media, so we're still kind of in that, like, phase of if you want to represent them, you gotta You got a baby's first non-binary, so people know what you're talking about. Dumont is one of Tevinter's old gods, which are turned into archdemons. Oh, okay, yeah, Corypheus definitely writing a lot about that, man. Not another dating sim. Raging! Not you out here saying Dragon Age is a dating sim. I mean, you're right. Why else would I play the game, truly? People infantilizing neurodivergent people is something I'm familiar with, unfortunately. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough out here in fandoms where people are doing all that. Genuinely, what was up with revealing who Alistair's mom actually was? What am I supposed to think of it? Honestly, Barmy, I have no clue. Isn't that reveal made in a book? I've not read any of the Dragon Age books, so I don't know if it hits different in the book, but it's just kind of like a, oh, cool. More things about Alistair. Would you like me to show you the fit I'm throwing for a dinner in a day or two? It's a mystery roleplay dinner, and the actors are going to play Has Been Hotel characters. Absolutely, yes, Desi. I would love to. But I'm throwing, I don't know why I said it like that. An outfit for the dinner. I got it. That I would love to, Desi. So predictable. Raging, what can I say? I like to be consistent.
We only wanted to ask you questions, Maddox.
Yes, that is what I could not allow. I destroyed the camp with fire. We all agreed it was best. Our deaths ensured Samson had time to escape.
You threw your lives away for Samson? Why?
Samson saved me even before he needed me. He gave me purpose again. I wanted to help.
Rest in peace. You think Samson and Maddox were, like, doomed? they were doomed, Yowie. Consistently wrong? That's crazy, Raging.
Maddox may
How could you be so incorrect? Alright, so I'm gonna walk around.
Better take a closer look.
Oh, not me having my controller on the desk and making a horrific noise as it vibrates. Okay, so there's multiple things.
Samson left a message. For me.
For
What does
you.
it say? Drink enough lyrium and its song reveals the truth. The chantry used does, you're fighting the wrong battle. Corypheus chose me as his general and his vessel of power. Now there's such nonsense. Does
Well.
he think I'll understand? What does he know?
Well, the Chantry absolutely did use them, but, like, that's a discussion for another day, I think. So do you picture on Tumblr when I have the complete look then? For now, I'll still miss a couple of pieces. I'm excited to see it, Desi, when you get it all together. Doomed Yowie. Like moths to a flame. What can I say? I just think it's interesting. Book makes me want to strangle Alistair's dad, but otherwise, it hits hard. Oh, sick? I might have to read him then. Once again, suggesting you to play Royal Alchemist as the LGBTQ stats-raising fantasy dating sim. Yes, I think I still have it on my wish list, actually.
Lyrium bottles, licked clean. How much red lyrium
Licked
is Samson
clean?
taking? His resistance must be extraordinary.
Is licked clean a figure of speech, or does he have, like, an abnormally long tongue and he just, like, got up in there? That's crazy. Anyway, sorry, Samson. Not to make fun of the logistics of your addiction.
This must
Alright, we
have
got
been
the
Maddox's room.
tools.
The fire couldn't destroy these entirely, whatever they are.
Those are lyrium forging implements of remarkable design. Intact, they'd be worth a fortune.
Tranquil often design their own tools. Agnes should be able to make sense of them. If Maddox used these to make Samson's armor, she could use them to unmake it.
Oh, that's cool. Beautiful. Alright. Samson's days truly are numbered at this point. Talking about 19 inches of venom. No, but possibly? I'm not actually sure what 19 inches of venom means, because, you know, I assumed it meant one thing, but the context of this conversation, it sounds like it means something different. Didn't Alistair's dad bite it in a comic? Sounds like it would have been deserved. My Inquisitor, who's an Iron Bull kisser, sided with Templars, and my Inquisitor Quinari Mage, who's Blackwall kisser, sided with the Templars as well. Why? What's your character choice there? It's about the statue of Venom that came with Spider-Man 2. I didn't know they came out with statues that came with the movie. But I know when my friend group specifically says 19 inches of Venom, they're referencing a Marvel Rivals mod that I might be remembering this incorrectly, but I'm pretty sure it's a reference to a Marvel Rivals mod that gives Venom just a big old thing swinging while you play the game. Because people who like Venom are a little silly, little freaky like that. No Venom cock talk in my vicinity, please. Damn. Shut down by Zenith is crazy. Venom does have a long tongue. Venom does have a long tongue. When you're playing Marvel Rivals without mods, you can see it like going over his head when you're playing as him. What the hell? Oh, the Spider-Man 2 game? Yeah, I didn't know they did statues with that. That's cool. Good thing we're talking about his tongue and what it do. That's crazy. I was actually talking about Samson being deformed. The middle of Haikyuu reread and finally like season 4 content. That's so exciting! Can't wait for the Nakoma match. I've not read it in so long that I've watched the movie. I still remembered enough to realize I cut off some stuff. I hope you enjoy your read, Desi! It's been so long since I've watched Haikyuu. I don't think I ever finished the anime. I was so excited for season 4 to hit, but then season 4, like, I think there's a little bit of a, like, they aired the first half of season 4 and then, like, took a break for a while. And I don't think I ever picked it back up again after the break. Everyone forgets Venom eats brains, or at least when he was introduced he did. I don't know if they retconned it. So the only thing I know about Venom, I learned from the Venom movie, and I don't remember that being in the movie. So I have no clue if they've retconned it or if they just didn't want to put it in the movie, because that could be kind of a lot to depict in a movie, especially a movie that was like live action. So if you were going to depict that, it would be kind of gross. He still eats brains in the movie? Okay. When was that? Because I really don't remember that. Same reason he likes chocolate, same chemicals. That's so fun. That's so fun for him. Not brains being like candy to Venom. I really do not remember that in the movie. Which is so like crazy because I do remember there's like one specific scene where like this lady is that like gets off at an airport, and I remember that scene so clearly because I remember I recognized where it was filmed. What do you mean I don't remember like Venom being a freak? Bit off a guy's head, feeling the tank. You know, at least he's fueled up, I guess. It's been a long time since I've seen the Venom movie. I should watch it again, because I do remember really liking it. Season 3 of Haikyuu, for some reason, when it took me years to finish, and I always have a hard time rewatching it, it's not bad, it just can't catch my attention for longer than, like, 10 minutes for some reason. Wasn't Season 3, like, the entire season just one volleyball match? Because I remember, like, Season 3 was, like, 10 episodes or something ridiculous like that. Or, like, unusual compared to, like, the usual 12 to 25 episodes. Manga had finished airing in 2020. 402 chapters total. Wow. I didn't know the manga ran for that long. Internalized mage phobia. She believes that if she wasn't born with magic, she probably would have gotten to stay in the Kyun. Well, okay, that's fair. She's probably right about that, depending on like aspects you have in mind for your character. But that's fair. That's fair.
The Red Lyrium deposits are being destroyed, and we've cut the Red Templars down to the core. It's a pity Maddox thought his sacrifice was the only answer. But that leaves Samson with a severely curtailed army, and enchanted army he can't maintain. You did it.
We did it.
We both fought to make this happen. Don't sell yourself short.
Well, thank you. But my work's not done yet. We're getting recruits by the hour. There's more than a few ex-Templars among them. We've struck a blow and given people hope. This is a true victory.
You love
Inquisitor,
to see
I
it.
finished it. Are you talking? Sorry. have it anyhow.
You mean this rune?
It's not just any rune. I made it with red lyrium and what's left of poor Maddox's tools. The rune acts on the median fissures of lyrium to... It'll destroy Samson's armor. He'll be powerless.
I kind of love that she was about to explain how it works before she realized none of these people are gonna understand. That's so cool. I'm so glad we, like, have her here doing things like this. Cullen still has the best coat in the game. Because why is this man out here serving cunt every day of his life? Like, what? I guess trauma can do that to you, but, like, he's out here absolutely styling the whole game. It's 45 volumes, but also it sounds like it's a lot. At least it's finished. They're a manga which started before or even in and around the same year as Haikyuu, who are still ongoing despite having less chapters. Well, I will say part of what probably inflates the length of Haikyuu is drawing the action of a volleyball game is going to take a few pages. Real glow up between games, truly. Because, like, y'all know I was willing to be, I wasn't necessarily a Cullen hater, but I wasn't a Cullen enjoyer, that's for sure, with the first two games. And I was like, I don't get why people like this man. He's not even that pretty. We get to this game, okay, he's kind of nice. I see the appeal. I get it. I understand.
We'll cut Corypheus off from his most powerful officer.
Maddox covered Samson's tracks thoroughly. But wherever Samson's retreated, we'll find him. Your army stands ready, Inquisitor. For Samson, for Corypheus, for whatever you command.
I still think in my brain, Cullen in this game is what Alistair would look like in this game, even though we know what Alistair looks like in this game and it's not that. It's still very, like, if you take Alistair from Dragon Age Origins and, like, age him up a bit and do new graphics, I think he would look more like Cullen than he does currently. He looks a little malnourished in this game, not gonna lie, but also he has been going through it, so that could be why. Could be why. Okay, gotta go to Valmar. The good Laura Bailey dwarf. You're so right, that is Laura Bailey. Warden Alistair was burnt out as fuck. That is true. That is true. But I do still think he would look more like Cullen if he wasn't so scrawny. Please do not offend my boy Alistair like that. Look, I love Alistair. I do think he looks very haggard and worn down well, he does in my game, in my world state, because I made him have a horrible life. I let him continue to be a Grey Warden. Okay, there's a camp not too far from there. He was better as king. I won't withhold the truth. Does he have, like, the same model as king? We'll have Sarah out since we're dressed up as her. Does he have the same model as king? Yeah, we'll take this gang. Can't believe you killed that man. I haven't killed anyone yet. What do you mean? I'll really go to have fun. Bye, Desi. Thanks for coming and dropping by. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. Cullen's story suffers from the writers are centrist cowards. Cal, I think I would go as far as to say Dragon Age just in general suffers. Dragon Age 2, I feel like its overall narrative, especially if you're doing the pro-mage storyline, it suffers. I've undecided yet if Inquisition is impacted by that sort of writing, like, as a whole, and not just individual stories, or, like, companion stories. He looks less tired as king. Small differences. Interesting. I need to look at him. I need to study him. Left him to die? I didn't leave him to die. He's still alive and well. I actually chose to kill my own self-insert character instead of killing Alistair. Ridging, leave me alone. Mass Effect Steamer, Citrus Cowards, Dragon Age, not so much. I don't... Liam, Mass Effect must really suffer. As I will stand by, Dragon Age 2 definitely, like, lessened its impact that it was trying to do with its story because it wanted to, like, both sides it. Alright, how do I... I need to go around the water. I'm in the water. I don't think this is the way to go. We'll go the other way. There's a lot of militarism and propaganda in Mass Effect. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I've not played Mass Effect. I've not even like watched a playthrough of Mass Effect. But that is very fair. There's less of that in Dragon Age, I would say. Mass Effect, you are the coppest cop that ever copped. Yeah, and I will say, okay, in that regard, you are onto something, because I will say, at least in Dragon Age, the like cop adjacent Templars, like there's layers to like the concept of Templars, and also like, hey, they're not good. They're not great. And we have characters that like defect from that and are not the coppiest cops to ever cop. Most popular squad mate is the Space Punisher. So, I actually don't really know a lot about the Punisher character. Other than, like, there's a certain type of person that seems to be really drawn to the Punisher. And that he has crazy guns in the Marvel Rivals game. That's all I got for you. I think I need to go up. Why'd you take it? You're so right. What am I doing? I was so... Okay. Am I gonna hate it? I kind of temporarily forgot that I was doing Varric's quest. Alright, let's go back to camp. Ren, who's my Solus kisser? She's siding with the mages. Could you even kiss Solus inside with the Templars? Is that something that you can do? Varric, get your ass in here. I had dementia for a second. Okay. Girl, why are you even building double daggers? How did we get started on that? Maybe if you subjugate the Templars? Not a full alliance? Oh, I didn't know that was a possibility. I guess so, maybe. You're playing Mass Effect 1 and I just found out that Liara is a renegade compared to Kaiden. It's so hilarious to hear her say things opposite of what she said with Tully. That's so funny. Punisher's family was killed by the mob and now he kills criminals. So the people are really like, that really like him are like, man, I wish I could brutalize criminals. That's crazy. So he's just like revenge fantasy, but like take it up 30 notches. I had the same option with the mages, full alliance or conscript them. So the thing about me and with mages in this game, or this like world, is that more often than not, I'm probably gonna side with them, and I'm not even gonna consider it being like a fake alliance, because that's mean. So I did forget that was an option, because like we weren't even considering it. They were gonna be my homies. And I also like made that decision thinking that the only people that could help me would be mages, and that nobody, like, we wouldn't get any like former Templars or anything the way that we apparently have been doing. So I was like, damn, if we're doing the mages, we gotta go all in. I'm collecting raw meat. Okay, sure. Less revenge fantasy and more the law and due process is for pussies. Okay. I guess it would depend on how it was written. How they framed it. Atashi, my Quinari mage, she gets along with Sarah and Vivian. Getting along with Sarah and Vivian? That's wild. But I guess both of them agree on like, hey, status quo. Let's keep things the way they are. So they've got some common ground. Oh, this has a nice path where I can clearly see where I'm going. bad, so I don't know if you read my Punisher comments. I did, Kel. Thank you for explaining, because I did not know that. Like, I didn't know what his story was or anything. So there was, like, I didn't have any of that context. Garrus? I think they were calling Garrus the Punisher.
Lyrium smuggling would be profitable around here.
Probably so. There's only like 3 Mass Effect character names that I know. Garrus is one of them. Pretty sure the Punisher is revenge fantasy taken way too far, like getting stuck in the fantasy itself and never healing. Garrus is more Dirty Harry. Okay. Barmy, that's interesting. That's very interesting. Because, like, when Kel described it, that is also how I took it. But it could also be both that and then also, like, the law and due process isn't the vibe. Like, they want to take the law into their own hands kind of thing. Or, like, take justice into their own hands or whatever they're calling it these days for the Punisher. That is interesting. And I feel like people who are, like, really into his character in the way that, like, Kel said, missing the point. Missing the point. But, again, I don't know how it's written or how it's portrayed. Dirty Harry's arguably worse. I get to take the law into my own hands and keep my job. And keep his job. That's crazy. I don't think I actually know who Dirty Harry is. Dirty Harry's a cop that has decided bureaucracy is in the laws in the way of getting him real justice. And he gets to keep his job is wild. That's wild. Who wrote that? That's crazy. It's in the way, yeah, in the way of, that is, I wonder when that was written. I could look it up afterwards. Garrus doesn't keep his job, at least. Oh, in the 70s? Interesting.
Finally. I started to think you weren't coming.
Nobody said you had to hang out in the creepy cave while you waited.
Well, I did wait, so let's make this quick. These idiots are carrying the red lyrium out in unprotected containers. We don't want to stick around long enough for it to start talking to us.
Interesting. In the first film, Harry quits, but is brought back in the sequels. The film continually says, yeah, Harry's kind of a piece of shit. Interesting. So, like, the first film was a little bit aware of it, but then in the sequels, they're like, yeah, no, you get your job back. You get rewarded for it. From 1971, there were 4 sequels. The last one was The Deadpool, which featured pre-famed Jim Carrey and the classic lineup of Guns N' Roses. That is wild. That is very wild. Alright, how'd you find this place?
How did you find this operation in the first place? There must be hundreds of deep roads entrances.
I've used this entrance in the past. Varric's not the only surface dwarf to explore the deep roads. Oh, I've got to admit, I was pretty surprised when I came here and found it full of humans.
Oh. That would be surprising. You know, I've been to the deep roads a couple of times. I've never seen a human aside from the people I brought down there. Or like Grey Wardens, but like, they're a little different. And Liam Neeson. They had so many people in that movie. That's wild. Nixon got elected because he played off of white people's fear of violence and crime. So Dirty Harry is also playing on those fears. Cal, it's like you read my mind, because I was sitting here thinking, what was going on in the early 70s? Or, like, I guess late 60s, early 70s to, like, birth that movie. Or, like, I guess the whole franchise. Interesting. Dirty Harry's, like, the film you continually shake your head at to let people know you disapprove of the politics. Understandable, Barbie. Understandable. That is interesting. Okay. It's kind of wild, like, how much of, like, societal, like, anxieties or whatever present themselves in media and how it gets presented in media. Dirty Harry quits, so him not having his job isn't a punishment for being so violent. He left on his own terms and was still brought back. It's him being fed up with the system. That's wild. Alright, why should they be protected?
Why would the containers need to be protected?
Lyrium is incredibly dangerous in its raw form. It can poison or kill dwarves, and we're resistant to it. Sometimes it just explodes. No warning.
Oh, that's
Basically,
wild.
only crazy people mine lyrium.
The mining cast doesn't just sling it into a bucket. It's carried in special containers that keep it under control. And that's normal lyrium. The red stuff is worse. I wouldn't be surprised if most of their miners die just digging it up.
So why are we mining red lyrium? That's awful.
You seem to know more about the effects of red lyrium than most.
Varric told me plenty about what it did to him. And his brother.
That's fair. No, red lyrium did a number on Kirkwall. Am I hearing Laura Bailey? Dagna was Laura Bailey, I think. This is also Laura Bailey. She sounds different. Usually, like, I know Laura Bailey is Harper in Date Everything, and that's kind of been, like, the most recent thing that I've been, like, playing, doing, that, I, like, know that's her. What'd you do with Bartrand anyway? So we kept him alive. I think he got, like, sent away somewhere. I think he might have been, like, sent somewhere. Not her best voice work, in my opinion, and that's okay. Not everything can be our best. I wouldn't say it's horrendous. All fairness, the character is a dud. Oh, rest in peace.
We'd better get to work.
Sounds good to me.
Oh. Dorian, why the hell did you just run out of the abyss of the rocks? I thought I was being attacked. Okay. Oh, I left. Girl. Learning how to read would benefit us, actually. That card is so cute. They got Fiona out here looking so adorable. Punisher is revenge taken too far and is originally like a cautionary tale, but writers change all the time, and some of them play more into what the fans want. Some justify him by making sure he only targets the mob. Some continue that he is a sick man who never heals. Her voice makes me feel things. That's so fair, Zenith. Okay, I feel like they could have done very interesting things with his character, but not everyone is interested in doing that. And also the nuances of, like, the different things you can do with his character get lost on some people who are more caught up in, like, the fantasy of the revenge. Okay. When my companions came from this direction, I thought this was the direction we came from.
What was it for?
Trade, maybe? Your guess is as good as mine.
Is this the deep roads? No. Oh, hi. Not this Hey, I don't like the sound of that. I feel like we're about to get mugged. Yep, they're up here. They're up here, aren't they? Oh, I see them. Every directions is into a character for Sarah. Yeah. I'm just like method acting, truly. Long story short, Western comics are an inconsistent waste of time. And, like, I would believe that. Not only are they inconsistent, because they're always changing writers, which, personally, if I came up with a character and, like, a story concept, and, like, 20 years, if it even goes that far down the line, like, somebody else starts writing that same character, I would be upset. And as an audience member, as a reader, that would also really bother me. I would rather have a story be cut short than have, like, 10 different writers over the span of however many years. Because, like, when the character goes through so many hands like that, like, it's aspects of them are going to change. Aspects of the story are going to be presented kind of differently. And it's, like, I would rather have a story written by, like, one person or, like, a team of people that are all on the same page and not, like, constantly changing hands.
So this is what you do now?
Beg pardon?
Skulking around in caves, shooting guys. Is this your day-to-day?
I usually try to avoid the caves.
Of course he does. Do you like seeing highlights on Tumblr? Overarching plots are just tedious. Oh. So when it comes to like reading comics, I pretty much have only ever read like manga and webcomics. I enjoy a good overarching plot. But I've not read anything in the format of like Western comics, I guess. So I don't know if it's like different. Hellboy's been around for over 20 years, but it's consistent because Magnolia oversaw everything. That would be the way to do it. That would be the way to do it.
Darkspawn. We may be too close to the surface for these to count as deep roads. But have I mentioned I hate the deep roads?
Varric has only had suffering in the deep roads. They aren't consistent or creator owned like Boner Hellboy. Yeah, I think when people say Western comics, like they always just think of like, I guess the really mainstream ones. Because I feel like I have read Western made comics, but they're like indie webcomics. But I don't know if that's like categorically a different thing. Wanda being in the limbo of Orlando's writing is driving me insane. Oh no, I hope that changes for the better. I hope that changes for the better for Wanda enjoyers out there. Gotta rate that you just called Marvel and DC mainstream. What? Am I I'm genuinely asking, am I incorrect? Because I feel like even like if you don't really know a lot about comics, like you still know them. And so they're like well-known, like the well-known ones. Ghost in Shell manga omnibus came in. New anime more faithful to the manga is coming out soon. Oh, sick! That's exciting. I didn't know they were making a new Ghost in the Shell
That letter
anime.
you sent me about the Red Lyrium was the first I'd heard from you since the Chantry explosion.
Had it been that long?
Smile and Dogma
Seriously,
outsell
if you
all
died
of
in
Marvel
that
and
mess, I'd have come
DC.
back to Kirkwall and
The
dug you up
Dogman,
just to
not
kick your
Dogma.
ass.
What would you do
That's
if I
okay.
could cremate?
That is so interesting.
Kick your ashes, of course.
Is it just because Marvel and DC have been around for like fucking ever that like people know them even though nobody really buys them? Like obviously I know the movies play a lot into that, like the Marvel Cinematic Universe or whatever, like contributes to why everybody like knows about them. Basically the case. That is so fascinating. Yeah, like if you would have asked, like if I would have had to like guess what the best-selling like Western comics are, that would have been my guess because it's like that's what everybody knows. That is so interesting. I guess that's why they go so hard in like making movies and shit, because that's where they make their money. If they're not selling comics. If they're not selling comics, that's kind of all they got. Is there nothing? Okay. I was about to say, if there's nothing to loot in here, did I really lockpick this room for nothing? There's a joke in Trespasser about how Varric hates everything. Deep roads, caves, outdoors, uneven slopes, the dark, all kinds of weather, water, Elysian cafes, taverns that are too tidy, Elysians, Ferelda, and Snugs, the smell of the sea, mountains covered in the dead, and everyone who isn't hearing him talk. Comics are literally adapt or die. That is actually very sad, because I feel like there are a lot of stories that are made specifically for the comic format that don't adapt into other mediums as well. Like, that's kind of the problem with a lot of, like, live-action versions of animated things, is, like, when you make a story and, like, you have a concept specifically, like, tailored towards animation, a live-action is not going to be able to, like, hit the same. It's not going to be able to do it justice in the same way. But that's so funny that Varric just hates everything. I mean, to be fair, deep roads, horrible things happen in the deep roads. Caves, we spent a lot of time in the caves in Kirkwall. I can't blame him on that. The outdoors,
We need to see
I don't know
that
what his
tunnel.
beef is with the outdoors. That's vague. But uneven slopes, I bet he tripped on an uneven slope one time and decided that he hates uneven slopes forever. He's such a little hater, but he's also the chillest guy of all. Like, this man truly contains multitudes. it's impossible to read Marvel because they mostly do crossovers, so you will buy more comics, but in my opinion, it started working against them in recent years, and they just refuse to change. It's frustrating. Oh, that is annoying. I also know with, like, the Marvel and DC things, like, if you wanted to go back to the beginning, your only option is piracy. Unless you want to, like, spend a bunch of money on,
I hope that holds the Darkspawn back.
Oh, cute. Okay, unless you want to spend a bunch of money on, like, getting, like, the earlier versions or whatever. I don't know. It's just, it's confusing on figuring out where to, like, get started as well if you wanted to be, like, a newer reader. Varric defends himself by claiming he complained so nobody forgets he's there and trips over him. That's... He would say that as a little, like, short joke about himself, but girl, I could never forget the homie, my best friend ever that we platonically kiss, even though the game won't let us. I fucking love Varric. He's just my best friend of all time. Well, he's not Inquisitor's best friend of all time, because that title does go to Hawk.
Bogdan? He's in Navarra right now, selling my machine to wealthy landowners.
Where are they going?
I heard some of the guild were trying to get you named a paragon for that contraption.
That's not...
Oh, I didn't know that was going to open a cutscene.
I built these doors. They probably shut this one from the other side when they heard the ruckus we were making. Ta-da!
You built doors?
You've been here often enough to renovate the cave.
You already know I've used this entrance in the past. I don't know if Varric's told you, but the Merchants Guild is cutthroat. Literally. I built the doors to keep rivals from following me down here and arranging accidents.
Oh, that's fair.
I guess it's a good thing you came along then.
I get that a lot. After you.
Too much to type in chat. Please let me in on voice chat. Yeah, we can have a little comic speak. Hindsight, the canceled plan for Hawk to be the new long-term protagonist makes sense. Yeah, no, that's fair. They do have digital masterwork collections of most of the older comics. Oh, that is so good to know. When did they do that? When did they do that? That's very cool. Bianca's husband. My theory is Varric hates Sebastian for no reason because he reminds Varric of Bianca's nice, boring husband. Not the nice and boring husband. Okay. Oh, I actually forgot to send the I am live thing in in Discord. That's okay. Hello? Hello? Oh, is it not picking me up? I think I'm having technical difficulties in Discord. Let me check the input and output. The input was... Why is it set to my headset? That's weird. We're getting it fixed. We're getting it fixed. Don't worry. Is that the right one? I think so. Hello?
There we go. I can hear you now.
Okay, yeah, it was set to my controller for some reason.
All right. So, comic history lesson. Do you know what the Comics Code Authority is?
I do not.
Okay, so the Comics Code Authority, the best-selling comics used to be horror comics and romance comics. And then in the 50s, a book came out that's called The Seduction of the Innocent, which is all about how the rise of juvenile crimes is all due to comics corrupting and making kids do crimes, similar to how people claim violent video games make kids do crime now.
Okay.
So rather than push back against this, DC was like, well, we will make a thing that is a comics code to prove that our comics are moral and just and won't encourage kids to do crime. And they wrote a whole bunch of rules that the comics industry, quote unquote, had to follow to prove that they're invested in preventing crime. But really what DC did with these rules is they were all targeted to put romance and horror comics out of business. Because you could not have horror in the title. It could not be too violent. cops could not be portrayed in a negative light. All romance couldn't go past kissing, basically. So it put EC Comics completely out of business. Um, and while romance comics kind of stuck around, they all became incredibly dull because since they couldn't really do anything quote unquote juicy like cheating or love triangles or anything like that, it all became like girl likes boy, unrequited love, girl is sad, or they actually go out to a dance and are happy. Um, and so that is partly how superheroes took over American comics because DC wrote this Comics Code Authority that was specifically designed to put their competition out of business. Um,
That
the
is so
Comics Code
wild.
so the Comics Code Authority finally got thrown out in like it started to get thrown out in like the 80s. Um and it hasn't been on a comic since like the early 2000s, like the last few comics that had it and followed those rules were published in the early 2000s. So that is partly why Marvel and DC are what people think of when they think of comics, is because the Comics Code Authority made it nearly impossible to get non-superhero comics to happen. Um but in recent years, all the growth in comic book sales have been in middle grade comics. So, like I mentioned, Smile, and then which is put out by Scholastic and Dogman. If you look at like the best selling graphic novels of the year, the top 10 are going to be like 7 volumes of Dogman, 2 books by Raina Telgemeier, and a manga, whichever manga is the most popular. So, and the most successful publishers of the past several years, repeatedly, Marvel and DC are not even making the top 10. It's like Scholastic, Random House, HarperCollins, Viz, Kodansha, um, and yeah, DC and Marvel are lucky if they break the top 10. They cannot compete. They're mostly holding on by doing, someone did mention crossovers, because it's crossovers get people who are already reading to buy more books, but unfortunately it also chases people away. So all of Marvel and DC's business strategy have been, how do we get the customers we have now to spend more money rather than to getting new people?
That is so fascinating. I've heard that DC used to have like a manga line as well at one point. Question mark?
Um, they they try, so they're used to both of them. When manga was big, they tried, but the thing is like their timelines are so convoluted and there's been so many like reboots and nonsense like that, that like the manga lines weren't successful because people saw it as what it was, which was a cheap attempt to compete with manga. Um
That is so
and
fascinating.
there's stuff like, if you look through the history of Marvel and DC, whenever they try to compete with where the growth is or get a tiny sliver of where the growth is, they always fumble the ball. So, like when manga first started to make a lot of headway with girls and women, they're like, well, we can make comics for girls and women. So, like, they put out a comic starring Emma Frost from the X-Men, and it was about her as a teenager in like boarding school first getting her powers, and it could have appealed to girls, except the covers look like Pam Anderson in a Playboy like photo shoot. So no teenage girl is actually going to pick that up. And the people who are picking it up because of the Pam Anderson cover don't care about teen girl drama. So they always
That's so
flopped.
messy.
And it is just like repeatedly, I get frustrated when people are like, oh, the big two, Marvel and DC. It's like they haven't been the big two for like 20 years.
That's actually crazy
Um
that people like, I know I am a part of the problem, but that like like those who don't know still consider it purely just because of like name recognition. Like that's literally it.
and it's like they're making these movies, but actually the movies show why Marvel and DC, how badly they're fumbling the ball, because as popular as these movies are, they're not doing anything to get people to read comics who liked the movies. Like, there's no, like, here's a new edition of the story that the movie is based off of. Or there's no, like, hey, you liked Bucky and Captain America in the movie, so here's what they're doing in the comics now. They're never, like, planning to synergize with the movie, basically. And
Interesting.
so,
Okay.
anime and manga are much better at working together to, because, like, since anime is a closer adaptation of what the manga is, the anime usually boosts sales of the manga and vice versa.
And I know we usually get more
Whereas,
like English licenses as well when an anime airs. For like, I know for
yeah,
shoujo it usually
so
goes hand in hand.
yeah, so it's usually but Marvel and DC have never successfully cashed in on adaptations of these books, partly because they're never that well planned. There's no consistency in the characters. Frequently how a character is depicted in a movie does not line up with how they are depicted in the comic, even if they're doing a straight adaptation of that story. I've been doing a book club of classic comics with some friends, and we just read the Dark Phoenix saga. And one of my friends who hadn't read it before and had not read any X-Men was surprised how much of an asshole Professor Xavier was, because they're used to the X-Men movies where it's Patrick Stewart and he's a nice guy and everyone likes him and he's like nice father figure. So when he's like being an asshole, threatening Wolverine with detention, even though Wolverine's a full grown ass man,
That's
it's like,
wild.
yeah. So it's just like Marvel and DC are a mess.
Mm-hmm.
Like someone said, they're inconsistent because they swap writers all the time. So even if you do get interesting things done, the next writer's probably going to undo it anyway. And the only Western comics that come out in a monthly format that are consistent are things like Hellboy, where the creator owns it, so they're overseeing everything that comes out with it.
Oh, okay. That
Um,
is so fascinating. I don't like know a
but
whole
yeah,
lot about like comics outside of manga and like the industries, so that's really cool to like hear about and learn.
yeah, I think the next growth period for manga, not for manga, for American comics is, so Smile came out like over 20 years ago, got all these middle school girls to read Western comics. And everyone, and that has only grown. A lot of the middle grade really successful books are actually about like school problems. They're not fantasy or sci-fi. And the reason why those girls as they get older do not stick around and continue to read comics is a lot of them only want sort of real world problems. And right now, there isn't many comics aimed at older women that are like not genre fiction. So like there aren't any comic equivalents of like Sex in the City or something like that. Um and I think that's the next area where comics are going to start to grow, because in general women read more than men, and a lot of the best-selling books out there are aimed at women who are adults, whether they're fantasy or whether they are quote unquote chick lit or whatever. And so, since comics doesn't have an equivalent of that, I think that is the first publisher to figure out how to get those made is going to corner the market and make a buttload of money. But right now, Marvel and DC are really falling behind because they just want to keep getting more money out of the customers they already have rather than getting new people on board.
That is so interesting. Also, I'm excited to see the growth that you are foreseeing for comics. 'Cause that's gonna be cool.
Someone has to do it first, and companies don't like to take risks. So
Yeah.
it might be a while, but
Hopefully within our lifetime.
um, yeah. All right. Thank you for letting me rant
Yeah, of
on voice
course.
chat. Right.
That was cool. Spider-Man. Oh, wait, I missed a lot. I gotta scroll up. started like 10 years ago, and today most of the major titles are available in high res. Corrupting the youth. It always, I feel like everything wrong with American media goes back to shit like the Hays Code and all that about corrupting the women and the youth. J-Train, welcome in! How are you? I hope you're doing well. Things are going very well. We just learned a lot about comics with Kel. Also, welcome in, Melise. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Only comics I really pay attention to nowadays are Sonic comics. That's so fair. I never got super into Sonic, but I have a lot of friends that love Sonic. Not those cringy girls comics. Yeah, I didn't actually, like, see any of those, because so, my family, I wasn't really around people that were, like, into comic books, and it wasn't until I got into anime and manga that, like, I started being exposed to more, like, comics kind of thing. So I, like, completely missed all the girl comics. But that also might have been just a tad before I was, like, reading a lot as well, just, like, in general. Do something as a shout out to the movie, but pretty incompetently, like Spider-Man wearing his black suit for a page or two because Spider-Man 3 came out. That's so lame. I feel like whoever runs marketing at, like, Marvel and DC should learn marketing, actually. Did you try to make comic characters look and act more like they are in the movies? Few appearances of Wanda with her white actress still haunt me with the face. So, like, they adapt the art a little? That's interesting. I don't know how I feel about that. Time they just killed Nick Fury and replaced him with his son with the same name who looks like Sam Jackson. What a way to do it. Forgot that Fury used to be white. That's wild. It's based on David Hasselhoff. I'm learning so many things about comics. Thanks for the educational segment. Yes, of course. Very much appreciate Kel for coming on and telling us about comics. Comics are borderline unreadable. They did not know their audience at all. That's painful. That is truly painful. Damn. I'm alright. Just got home from work. Sorry I missed learning about comics. That's okay, J-Train. That's okay. Kel was explaining that, like, Marvel and DC are not even, like, well-selling comics. Like, they are not mainstream comics at all. We just know them because of, like, their history. They're, like, well-known names. And was telling us a little bit about, like, the comic book code from, like, the 50s that caused the dominance of superhero comics. About to make a sandwich cutting joke, but it's a major spoiler for Demon Slayer. Yeah, please don't spoil Demon Slayer, Zenith. I still need to catch up on the anime. Demon Slayer, unfortunately, has been demoted from something I keep up with seasonally to something that's just in my queue to watch when I get around to it. But it is, like, higher priority than other things. I've just gotten... I go through phases where I'm really good at keeping up with anime, and then other times I'll, like, have one series I'm keeping up with, and then, like, 30 that I'm trying my best to, like, get caught up on.
Remember crashing Bartram's guild dinner? We might as well have shot him.
This isn't nearly as dangerous as pissing off my brother.
Oh, Varric got serious. Sounds like an interesting discussion. My knowledge of comics mostly comes from the animated and live-action adaptations. Yeah, I think I was the same when it came to, like, Western comics. So it was cool to learn about. Haven't read comics in years. Yeah, I mostly just read manga. I have been reading, what was it called? I literally have it on my bookshelf. Yeah. Soul Swimmers, I was reading that with a friend. It's a webtoon. It's so fucking cute. But, like, I feel like the only, like, non-Japanese comics I've been reading are, like, webtoons. They're very fun. Demon Slayer sold more last year than all of Marvel and DC. Oh, yeah, that, I believe that. 100%. Even when I thought Marvel and DC sold well comic book wise, I would still believe that. Demon Slayer is incredibly popular. Isn't the movie, like, the one that just came out, like, one of the highest grossing movies of all time? Or something like that? It made a lot of money. Julian, baby girl. I always forget about his healing grenades. That's okay. We'll cast it next time. Yeah, I know Demon Slayer is incredibly popular, which is why I was surprised when I found out that Volume 30 of Black Butler, the week it came out, outsold Demon Slayer, like with the volume that would have been comparable that came out at the same time. That was crazy to me.
They're not gonna kill you.
You always say that, and they always send assassins.
Who's trying to kill Varric? Why would they want to kill a silly little guy? Why would they want to kill him? That's so sad. I think the highest grossing animated in Japan, but it's going triple platinum everywhere. It's making a lot, like, globally. I do know the manga sales I was just talking about, I'm pretty sure that was only, like, in Japan. But that's still kind of wild to me, because, like, I know Demon Slayer has been, like, the anime manga community's little darling for a few years. I mean, rightfully so. As far as, like, action shonen goes, it's pretty good. It's pretty good, and the anime is really pretty. I love when an anime is nice to look at. I hate to say a woman is leading a guy on, but Bianca's absolutely leading my guy on. Rest in peace. Rest in peace to Varric. I could treat him so much better. Alright. I might... Oh. There we go.
There you are. You won't be able to use this entrance again.
Bianca.
You want to say something, Varric?
Andraste's ass, Bianca. You're the leak?
When I got the location, I went and had a look for myself. And I found the red lyrium, and I studied it.
You know what it does to people.
I was doing you a favor. You want to help your brother, don't you? I just wanted to figure it out.
Well, did you?
Did you figure it out?
Actually, yes. I found out that red lyrium, it has the blight, Varric. Do you know what that means?
What? The two deadly things combined to form something super awful?
Lyrium is alive, or something like it. Blight doesn't infect minerals, only animals. I couldn't get any further on my own, so I looked for a Grey Warden mage. Blight and magical expertise in one, right? And I found this woman, Jonica. She seemed really eager to help with my research. So I gave her a key.
Oh.
Janica? The warden who was trying to control Corypheus? Maker's breath.
Oh.
I knew something seemed off.
I didn't realize until you said you found red lyrium at Haven. I came here and, well, then I went to you.
Damn. It's so hated by everybody, I think. By everybody? I don't think I can hate her for this. It's not something she did intentionally, and she was trying to help. Like, she had good intentions, but I understand intentions is not everything, and she ultimately did cause more harm than good, but, like, I don't know if I can hate her for it. She's also just not really been, like, around enough for me to have a strong emotional reaction to her, and she's not, like, I don't know. She just hasn't hit me in a way that's like, I fucking hate her. So, Lyrium is alive? Ew, so what was Wheatley drinking then? Ew! It wasn't just Wheatley drinking lyrium potions. Actually, everyone, all of my OCs except for Windley has had lyrium potions. I don't think I've ever... Are lyrium potions even in this game? I don't know. All I do know is that we've not been partaking of lyrium. You sided with Larius. Varric goes, he wasn't a mage when we saw him. Oh. They are in this game. I just simply have not been making them or using them. Wendley is lyrium clean. Morgan also, she needs some mouthwashing ASAP. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think Lyrium being alive is going to disturb Morrigan the way it will the rest of us. I feel like she would be surprisingly chill with it. Who knows? Maybe her and Flemeth already knew this. Good for Cullen for kicking his Lyrium habit. Yeah, good for him. Not even, like, acknowledging that it's a metaphor for, like, drug addiction in the real world. Good for him for getting rid of the Lyrium, because it's alive, and that's kind of gross. Question is, what is alive? I think maybe alive in the sense that, like, plants are alive. Flemeth knew. Yeah, if Flemeth knew, I think it's fair to say Morrigan probably knows. And she's fine with it. More so for keeping Varric on the hook. Oh, that's fair, J-Train. And I know, because I'm also a very strong Varric lover. People love Varric. And anybody that does Varric a little dirty, it's over for them. Like a tree? Yeah, like a tree. Lyrium is some Bloodborne type shit, just realized. Oh, as of right now, it feels to me like it might be alive more in the sense of like a plant or a tree. I don't know if it has a soul the way like a thinking creature does. Does Lyrium think?
That name means something to you, Varric?
She was at the Grey Warden prison where we found Corypheus. She was more than a little obsessed with him.
Oh, crazy.
You had to know we'd figure out what happened, Bianca. Why did you insist on coming with us?
Varric told me what people were doing with the Red Lyrium. I had to help make this right.
Yeah, it's not. I literally was just saying it's not really her fault. Question is, where does Lyrium come from? No spoilers. So we get to know? I'm excited to find out. Flemeth knew. I won't say more. So I feel like Morgan absolutely knew and just didn't care.
You couldn't have known what would happen.
She popped that Lyrium
Maforath's
potion.
balls, she couldn't. I told her exactly how bad this shit was. I told her to keep away from it.
I know I screwed up, but we did fix it. It's as right as I can make it.
This isn't one of your machines. You can't just replace a part and make everything right.
No, but I can try, can't I? Or am I supposed to wallow in my mistakes forever, kicking myself, telling stories of what I should have done?
Oh, that sounds targeted.
As if I would tell stories about my own mistakes.
That was absolutely targeted. They're both right. He did tell her. And the damage is done, but also, like, it's good that she's tried to fix as much as she can. But I do want Varric approval.
The Red Lyrium is out. Closing this entrance won't undo that.
We've done all we can here. Bianca, you'd better get home before someone misses you.
Varric.
Don't worry about it.
This man has been through so much.
Get him killed, and I'll feed you your own eyeballs, Inquisitor.
Oh, if Varric dies, I will kill myself, actually. If Varric goes down, so do we. Don't even worry, Bianca. This man needs a break. This man truly needs a break. Am I gonna have to walk out of here? That's fine. Lyrium is nug eggs. Trust, that's how they reproduce. Well, now I feel bad I couldn't get Leliana her pet nug in Origins. Otherwise, we could have been getting this information from her. Barrett cannot catch a fucking break. My poor guy. I'm gonna need a list of Varric fan fictions where he can catch a break. A list of silly little haha Kirkwall gang having a good time. There are no issues. Varric's actually living his best life because that's what he deserves. They're just trying way too hard. Hey, that's okay. I'm a little lost. I think I just keep following. Following the way. Yes, this looks familiar. So I remember looking up going, this is the deep roads? I see the sky. Bianca missed out on Varric. I'd be crying. Imagine choosing anyone else over Varric. It's like I said in Dragon Age 2, he's non-romanceable because if he was, no one else would be getting romanced. You find out in the Deep Roads DLC. Ooh, sick. That's the Trespasser, right? Or is that... No, that's the other thing that's been on our map for a while. In the hardest DLC. Well, we did take down the difficulty level. So, like, how bad could it be, truly? Oh, that's a pretty card. They made the hyena card look so cool. The Descent. Yeah. That's... I think that's been on the map. What's the one with Nathaniel? I might be wrong. I might be wrong about Nathaniel's involvement. I might have hallucinated that. It's been a while since I've actually read what that quest is. After you beat Corypheus? Okay. I think we're probably going to end up saving all the DLC for after the fact, because that's what I did with Dragon Age 2, even though that wasn't the best. He's not here anymore, so I did hallucinate that. That was just in Dragon Age 2 where we got to see him. Oh, that's not what you meant by he isn't here anymore. Oh. Okay. Rest in peace. Difficult but pretty manageable, but I only did it once with maxed out gear. Okay, so Barmy, we're absolutely waiting until the end of the game. That's what I'm hearing. I linked the rules of the comics code in your Discord. Sick! That would be really interesting to look through. I'm kidding, but he still isn't in this game. That just means Nathaniel's out there living his best life. He's out there having a good time. Just truly having the best of times. Oh, this is very pretty. I would love to have a Minecraft house here. You think Dorian would, like, enjoy living by the waterfall? Do you think we could, like, have our forever home here, ignoring that, like, that's an entrance into the deep roads? It's my headcanon that mutual taint be damned. He has at least one child with Velena. Or Velana. Nate is fine for now. You know, I like what Liam is saying better. They're out here having their best life, falling in love, having a child, just doing whatever they want to do. And that's so beautiful for them. Please remember to chat with Cass and Liliana. Yes, we can actually do the rounds. We're gonna talk to Varric, and then we can talk to Liliana and Cassandra. And I feel like there's probably other characters that I don't talk to very much that we probably should check in with. Probably should check in with Josephine again, because she was, like, trying to talk to me about things that happened a million years ago. I heard Liliana. We have to get Liliana to become the divine. We have to talk to all the homies, and we will. Gotta do the rounds. Gotta do the rounds, but we have a hierarchy, so I can keep up with who I've spoken with. Okay. Varric first. Because we love him, but we're also doing his quest.
I'm glad to have answers, but... shit. The second she showed up here, I knew. I let this mess happen. I gave her the Tig. I am not good at dealing with shit like this.
Girl. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how I would deal with this either. Married to a divine, my life is good. I love that for you, Zenith.
I don't think anyone is equipped any better than you are.
No, the point is, I don't deal with things. If Cassandra hadn't dragged me here, I'd be in Kirkwall right now pretending none of this was happening.
As you should be! Have some rest. Nothing's stopping you. I don't know if that's coming across as you could... We'll just do this. So I don't know how that's gonna come across.
You've worked as hard as any of us to stop Corypheus.
Is that true? I don't even know anymore. Thank you for your help back there.
After all this, do you think you'll see Bianca again?
I always do.
Damn. Not the I always do. Alright, Cassandra next. Or Liliana next, because she's literally right here. Hangman was wrecked even before fighting. How could you possibly pretend none of this was going on when the hanged man is suffering? Your main place of vibin' has been demolished. Rest in peace. He lived there, didn't he? It seemed like he lived there. Not a religious man, but her ass is godly. That's crazy.
Inquisitor?
Do you have any updates?
Anything I should know?
I've agents stationed by the ruins of Haven should Corypheus or his lackeys return.
Okay.
So far nothing, and the breach has been quiet for some time. There is something at least.
You seem to know a great many people.
I have made friends, and on occasion enemies. It's unavoidable.
That's fair. Okay, so you don't have anything for me quite yet.
We can continue this conversation later.
You know where I am.
And I do. I do now. Alright. On the way down, we gotta check in with our baby girl. Also, I'm learning circular architecture is not for me.
I do love how you're always on the go. It's tiring to watch you.
Okay, so I don't think you have anything new either, which is fine.
I should go.
Come back tonight then.
Tonight? Girl, what do you have planned? Okay. We'll hit up Solus on the way out, because I'm not coming back in here. And we did get a new Muriel piece, I think.
How can I help?
What do you know about
I need
Corypheus?
to know more about Corypheus.
He has lost his army, and he has lost Orlais. That eliminates military or political means to rebuild Tevinter. He will need to demonstrate that no one in this world can stand against his magic. It will not be subtle.
Well, that's
We'll talk later.
definitely not concerning. I feel like Solus hates me. I don't really know where I stand with him, because I did get a lot of approval early on talking to him, but I'm not sure. I know I've gotten a lot of disapproval for him recently, so I'm really not sure where I stand, but I feel like he hates me. I feel like he cannot stand me. But becoming divine comes after what pride hath wrought? Possibly. We probably have to, like, progress more. Because I know, like, the first time she brought it up, I kind of misunderstood, and I was like, girl, do whatever you want. And she took that as me not being supportive, and has not thought about being the divine censor, has not said anything. Handsome Dorian. I'm not gay, but Dorian does have an amazing backside. So charming and
Good
handsome.
book.
Isn't he just the baby girl of all time?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Girl, you can read. That's fine.
Wait, are you blushing?
What would I have to blush about?
That's what I
You
want
tell
to
me.
know.
It's of no interest to you, I'm certain. It's
Girl.
a book.
I can see that.
It's one of Varric's tales. Swords and Shields, the latest chapter.
You don't need to hide that. We love supporting the homies out here. You know, headcanon time. We all gather around the fire and read Varric's tales. He does not hate you, but he only mildly approves of you, I believe. Okay. I know he is not happy with me after I was like, Cole can be human, because he's like, girl. No, he can't. If approval was high, he'd have his, you're a credit to your race convo. Okay. Interesting. You might be neutral. If Solus hated you, he would straight up tell you so. Oh, thank God. Okay. So I would know. Like my guy, if I go by, then I know who I'm going to. Love that for you, Zenith. He told me he didn't like me, and I straight up said, "K, LOL." That's so goofy. It is fanfic. I think it's so fun how Cassandra's just out here reading her silly little stories.
So you like to read. What's wrong with that?
It's frivolous. There are more important things for me to do.
That's just her favorite.
Nobody asked you, Tevinter.
Oh, do they
I
read
couldn't
together?
finish the last one you lent me. I actually feel dumber for having tried.
It's literature. Smutty literature.
Nobody show
Whatever you
Dorian
do,
of the silly
don't tell
stories I like
Varric.
to read. Don't tell Varric! I should read it. He would be pleased. Varric's my homie. Well, Varric's not Windley's homie. I would have read
Maybe
it.
I should read that book.
You? No.
Why not me?
You're the Inquisitor.
Oh, I see.
They're terrible. And magnificent. And this one ends in a cliffhanger. I know Varric is working on the next. He must be. You could ask him to finish it. Command him to. Pretend you don't know this about me.
She's like, wait, I know the author. We can get this story rolling. I actually love her. I can talk to Varric about it. Oh, we're getting this story going for her. Also, it's so sad that Dorian was a hater. What do you mean? What do you mean you don't enjoy a silly little tale? Varric's writing is just too hetero for Dorian. That is fair. I think in that regard, maybe we can show him my silly little stories that I like to read. Because that is not typically an issue for the media that I like. It's not gay enough for him. When y'all put it like that, I'm guilty. Guilty of the same thought process. But the way he said it, I was like, damn. This man's gotta be pretentious about his literature, I guess. Only likes highbrow literature. I gotta get this man to read my
There
favorite
you are.
J-Vic
I've
fic.
been looking all over for you. You're just in time. We almost had to start without you.
Without me? Y'all starting book club without me? That's criminal. What are we starting?
What exactly were you starting without me now?
Look who showed up, everybody. Deal him in, would you, Ruffles?
I do hope I recall the rules.
We're all playing
It's been
together?
ages since I've played a game of Wicked Grace.
Grab a seat. We're ready to start.
Are we playing cards or what?
There's a crown on his head, but a sword too. His head didn't want either.
Don't talk to the face cards, kid.
You seem to have enough people. I have 1,000 things to do.
Losing
Girl, sit
money
your ass down.
can be both relaxing and habit-forming. Give it a try.
Curly, if any man in history ever needed a hobby, it's you.
Dealer starts. Oh, I believe I'll start at 3 coppers. Do you think that's too daring? Maybe I'll make it 1. No, boldness. 3 it is.
Seriously, who starts at 3 coppers? Silver or go home?
This is everything I have
Sounds
ever
good.
wanted in
I'm in.
any game that
Older
has
the
like a
better,
cast
right?
of companions like
I'm in.
this.
Me too. Well, are you in?
They made this specifically for me. I'll play.
Of course. Deal me in, Josephine.
Oh, wonderful. I'm glad you're joining us.
Ante up, Inquisitor.
That was the cutest fucking thing. What do you mean we're all friends and we hang out? Canonically, I don't have to make it up.
The poor recruit ran out into the dining hall in nothing but his knickers. And this profound silence fell over the hall as 70 mages and 30 Templars all turned to stare at once.
Oh,
Then a
that's
slow round
mortifying.
of applause began and spread until every soul was on their feet. A standing ovation.
What did he do?
Saluted, turned on his heel, and marched out like he was in full armor.
Good man.
You're shitting us.
That's how you know it's true. I could never put that in a book. Too unlikely.
Cassandra would be here otherwise. Cassie is why I wanted you to talk to Cass before doing Varric's quest. Oh. That's okay. Cassandra's reading. She's got to finish that last chapter. Itachi is going to make Vivian divine because she believes that Vivian would be a good divine. Interesting. I can't believe they invited Cullen. I hope this is why Sarah didn't join and not because they forgot to invite her. Probably. Or maybe Sarah and Cassandra are reading together. Not the Wicked. You think I'll actually get to learn how to play Wicked Grace? Dorian would probably have the same reaction reading ACOTAR. Okay, I've never read ACOTAR, but I think I got ACOTAR mixed up with a different book series that people talked about a lot. So when I found out it was straight, I was like, what is this? Is this what you're going crazy about? Because I was getting it confused with another thing that a lot of book talk girlies were talking about. I think... I can't even think of what the other series that I was confusing it with is called. But I know the other series is like a real book series between like two boys. And I think one of them might be a prince. I don't know. What is funny is when you read the description of the book's plot, the main character is clearly based off of Aveline and the guard you helped her hook up with. So it makes sense that Cassandra would relate to that story. That's so... I feel like Aveline would not be happy about being written into a book. But that's really funny. You've got a story? Sarah's under the table shit-faced thinking she's playing. She forgot which room she's in. Red, white, and royal blue? Maybe? Maybe? Possibly. That could be it. I think I also might be thinking of The Captive Prince. So these are all book series I've never read, but like they were all really popular around the same time. On like book talk, and so like I would see TikToks talking about things and then I think my brain just pushed them all into one big story. So when my friends recently started reading ACOTAR and they were like, oh, it's so good, and they started talking about the main couple, I was like, she? What do you mean she and he? That's not what I thought the book was about, which is fine, but like I did get a lot of stories mixed up. Oh, choose the option. I've got a story. I wonder what story we're gonna tell. I can see the future. Damn. Alright, we've got a story.
I've got one for you. The clan decided to camp near this ruined fortress, right on the edge of the Tirashan. Dark as the bottom of a well.
Okay.
The keeper swore up and down it was safe, but some of the hunters started hearing noises in the middle of the night.
Haunted. It was haunted. We told a ghost story.
They ran out of there, fast as you think, bare asses shining in the moonlight. The whole way back to their village.
Not bad. You don't mind if I steal that one, do you?
Well done. You ought to tell stories more often.
I like the part with the rabbit. There should be more rabbits in stories.
That was scandalous. It would ruin the Inquisition if anyone found out. Tell it again. And the dealer takes everything.
The tell it again
I win
is
again.
so funny.
Deal again. I've figured out your tells, Lady Ambassador.
Commander, everyone knows a lady has no tells.
Then let's see if your good fortune lasts one more hand.
Deal me into. I want to play. Every story involves a rabbit somehow, no matter your origin. That's so funny. We're all just out here telling a story specifically for Cole. No, not this bit. It's about the Prince of England and the son of President hooking up. Okay, so it's not... I think I was thinking of Captive Prince and thinking that's what ACOTAR was. I did not know that's what Red, White, and Royal Blue was, but like given the title, that does make sense. I should have known that. But that's interesting. Destroy... I hope Josie wins. I would gladly lose to
win my
Josie.
dignity back. Deal me in.
Don't say a word, dwarf.
What happened to him?
I tried to warn you, Curly.
They took his
Never
style.
bet against an Antivan, Commander.
It comes off. I didn't know it came off.
Cole's like, you took your coat off? I didn't know you knew how to do that. That's so funny, because a lot of, like, video game characters, you only see them in, like, the one outfit. That's so goofy. Oh, he
I'm
skedaddled.
glad you decided to join us tonight. It's too easy to mistake you for the Inquisitor.
This was very fun.
I enjoyed this.
See? That's what I mean. It's easy to forget you're not just an icon or symbol. Like those statues of Andraste holding bowls of fire. At least it is for me.
Well, I am
you
just a
up
guy.
for another game when this is all over, Inquisitor?
Hell yes! Absolutely.
I wouldn't miss it.
Good. It'll take me a while to talk Cullen into it. Maybe I'll work the revenge angle.
Good luck. If I were Cullen, I simply would never show my face again.
Who's that? Did I win?
She really was there! That's crazy. I thought y'all were joking when you said that. I'm so happy to know she did not get left out. That was the cutest fucking thing I have ever seen, and I need more RPGs to do shit like that. Stat. That should become a staple of RPGs, actually. Windley's just a little guy who likes playing cards. Truly. Windley's just, literally just a guy. He's just a guy, and Varric gets it. On one hand, Josie won, which is good. On the other hand, we have to see naked Cullen, which is not good. Conflicted. Yeah. I was not expecting that. Sarah was with the crew the whole time. I love her. I love her. Blackwall mentions playing cards with Solus. He taught him the game the night before. Blackwall lost his shirt. That's so funny that he went to Solus to be like, hey, can you teach me how to play cards? That's so funny. Mass Effect has a movie night? Oh, well, now I have to play Mass Effect. Or at least Andromeda. If you romance Josie, she actually lets you win. That's really cute, but also, I feel like I'm the kind of person, like, you can't let your romantic partner win. You gotta, it's out for blood when it comes to games, specifically games. But that's also really cute. She's just a lover girl. There isn't one in Veilguard, which is why people don't like it. Barmy, you're probably right. The whole reason everyone dogs on Veilguard is because it didn't have a scene like that. And I'm gonna have to agree. Going to have to agree. There is one in Andromeda, which is why people defend it to this day. Is that, like, actually why people defend the game? Cullen still loses his clothes, though. Maybe he just wanted to be freaky. There should have been a book club scene in Veilguard. I would have loved that. I would have loved that. Blackwall lost his everything. Damn. They're full of shit. I would
talk about?
I would believe special. Oh. I have so many things. Alright, book first.
Cassandra is waiting for the next
It's
issue
ironic,
of Swords and
unironically
Shields.
part of the Veilguard
I must
criticism.
have heard that wrong. It sounded like you just said that Cassandra read my books.
Honestly, Tate, we get a taste of it here. I don't think that an absence of that kind of cutscene would actually ruin a game for me, but I would be disappointed, especially for some reason I was expecting it. This has probably been my favorite part of Inquisition. Not even, like, playing it up for the bit. That was so fucking cute. That's the kind of shit that I say the Kirkwall gang got up to as well. And to actually be able to see it after I've been, like, pedaling so hard that that's what all my companions in these kinds of games do is so nice. Movie night is, I think, post-game? Oh, that's interesting. It was obviously targeted. They really said, Cullen needs to lose. You think the whole table, worked against him? Veilguard is full of quests where you're just vibing. Okay. I can enjoy just vibing. If it, like, hits the same, where we get the same, like, takeaway of everyone is friends and we hang out together, then I think I'm okay with that.
What's so surprising about that?
Well, you have met Cassandra, haven't you?
Let a girl have some
did you
hobbies.
say the romance serial? Oh, she'll be waiting for a while then. I haven't finished it and wasn't planning to. That book is easily the worst I've ever written. The last issue barely sold enough to pay for the ink.
Can't be that bad. Cassandra liked it.
Well, Cassandra seems to be hooked on it.
And I honestly thought a hole in the sky was the weirdest thing that could happen. So, you want me to finish writing the latest issue of my worst serial for Cassandra? Oh, that's such a terrible idea. I have to do it. On one condition. I get to be there when you give her the book.
Yeah, I think that's okay. She's not gonna be happy, but I think that's okay. He's like, this is horrendous. Let's do it.
You've got a deal.
Love
I'll
him.
get to work then. You know, the fact that the book is terrible just makes it more worthwhile somehow.
Yeah, so what's terrible about
If
it?
you've got questions, I'm your dwarf.
Yeah, I do have questions.
I've read your Tale of the Champion.
Oh.
And I have a few questions.
That's not what I thought.
Common reaction. Go ahead.
Okay.
Carry on.
Oh, okay. So I have all those things, but I've already asked them. Right. Give Cassandra the latest chapter of Swords. Oh, he didn't even need any. Okay, maybe that's why the book is bad, because he instantly finished it. You're just vibing, but you are the team's boss and therapist. I have heard that criticism a lot, that Rook is like the therapist. And I'm not sure if I dislike that or if I'm okay with that. Because on the one hand, I kind of just play RPGs like that anyway. But I do appreciate having the choice to not be that way. So I don't know. Can't feel my gallbladder. Do people even have gallbladders? It's worse than I thought. Are you supposed to be able to feel your gallbladder? That's a crazy quote. Team boss and therapist. So what else is new? Honestly. No, I know that I would be picking those options anyway, especially for characters that I liked. But I do recognize not everybody wants to be team therapist in an RPG. You don't have to do those quests, but we will, Bear. We will. He's like, the book series is shit. I want to clown on Cassandra for liking trash I wrote. For some of the companions of the characters in Veilguard being too nice. Like, they get along too much, so it is a bit bland. Damn. I think I could still enjoy it, though. We'll see. I'll have to see. Card game is really cool, but it seems more like coworkers just hanging out in their off hours.
What have you
when people
done
like
now?
Inquisitor gets close with the Sarah, Dorian, Cassandra, and the love interest. And
You're still
Solus.
sore after our spat.
No, they're homies.
I'm not a
JJ and
child,
Trust.
Varric. Do not suggest I'm without reason.
A peace offering. The next chapter of Swords and Shields. I hear you're a fan.
Oh, that really is Aveline.
This is your doing.
I hoped you'd like it.
I was hoping you'd be happy about it.
Well, if you're not interested, you're not interested. Still needs editing anyhow.
Wait!
You're probably wondering what happens to the Knight Captain after the last chapter.
Nothing should happen to her. She was falsely accused.
Well, it turns out the guardsman...
Don't spoil
tell
it.
This is the part where you thank the Inquisitor. I don't normally give sneak peeks, after all.
Perks of being friends with the author.
Thank you.
Anytime. Think Varric. He wrote
Varric's
it.
the one you should be thanking.
I am but a humble servant to my loyal readers.
I wonder if I have time to read the first part.
Don't forget to tell all your friends, if you have any.
Girl. We're friends.
Completely worth it.
You know what that's kind of giving? It's like when you write fanfic and you have one you haven't updated in a while, but somebody reads it and comments on it, and you're like, oh shit, I should get back to that. That's Varric right now. Which is so funny. Okay. We need to meet with Josephine and Val Royale. We'll finish Memories of the Grey later. I don't want to do Memories of the Grey. Not right now. What do I teleport to? Oh, here we go. Travel. So we need Dorian. Oh, I don't know what we're doing, so I don't know what would be best. But I kind of want Cole there just to see what he has to say. So I guess we'll dream team it. Well, we would if I pressed the right button. There we go. Eveline with more hair. Yeah, it's so he could say it's not her when she asks. There are no evil Veilguard teammates, and the only beef between companions is Iffy. That's so interesting. But that does mean nobody can clown on me for liking the morally gray character if there is no morally gray character. Okay, I'm curious. I'm really curious to see who I'm going to be drawn to in Veilguard. They do share with other companions too. Memories of the Grey, not important. Yeah, that's why we're just going to ignore it. Because I really do not feel like going and finding those last 3 memories. Has no combat. I still really want to hear what Cole has to say. Oh, I hope there's like a... If there's no combat, we should have brought Varric, so it could be Cole and his dad. That was uncalled for. Remember she broke his nose with his own book? Never mind, King. Yeah, no, Varric actually doesn't crash out enough. Anything he does, justified, called for. I hope that statement does not age poorly. Technically correct, the best kind of correct. I don't even think there's any commentary from companions. Damn. The book series is shit. You don't have to do those quests. Yeah. I thought I would, like, maybe I would, since a lot of it we had kind of done on the way to other things. But it's getting to the point where I would be, like, going to places specifically for it, and I don't want to do that. I'm not actually sure how to get to where I'm trying to get to.
A full retreat, it sounds like.
I don't need to buy and sell.
Thought it would penetrate.
Those who had been cast down, the demons.
Oh, this feels correct. Card game is really cool, but it seems more like coworkers. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like we're friends with Iron Bull. Maybe I'm latching on too much and he doesn't feel that way, but I feel like we're friends. I feel like we're friends with most of the companions. Like, at least Inquisitor is friends. Now, there are characters we do get closer with, but I think that just has more to do with, like, the emotional depth of their quest. Because, like, with Dorian, his whole quest is very, like, emotionally vulnerable. Like, the whole thing with his dad and all that. So, like, I think anyone going through that, like, you would bond. You would get close. And, like, Blackwall's whole thing, if you're keeping him around, that's a homie. I saved him from jail and death. And I would do it every day of the week because he is my friend. And Sarah, I feel like, is just really easy to get along with.
Do you know where this noble wanted to meet us?
I do. The Comte Poivers invited us to his mansion, not far from here. I pray he clears up the deaths of my messengers, as promised.
Alright, let's go see him. Use the Force. Characters like Cole and Sarah treat it like a family. The Veilguard and Hawk's team are the families. Most of the Inquisition's absolutely co-workers. Damn. I still really liked the card scene. I still thought it was cute. Hawk's team, definitely family. I'm excited to see the family vibes of Veilguard team. I'm gonna eat that up, I just know I will. That's probably why I was so insane about Dragon Age 2 and all the companions, because of how close it felt like everybody was. If you romance Cassandra and go over to Trespasser, Varric will tease her and Cassandra fires back with "Shut the fuck up, I haven't forgiven you" for the ending of Swords and Shields, so Aveline's OC probably died. That's crazy! How could he do that to her? Iron Bull respects you as a boss, I think, and he's friendly, but I don't think it goes beyond that unless he's romanced. I guess that is fair. I might be a little too attached to him But that's okay. That's fine. And like his quest has the capacity to be like a very emotionally vulnerable thing, but it's not as like inherently personal as some of the other companion quests. Because his is like, do I protect my men or do I stay loyal to like my people? And while that does have the capacity to like be a big like thing, I think it's something that he's like, oh yeah, the Inquisitor can relate because I too command an army and have like an origin of people, I guess.
Welcome, my friend.
Thank you for seeing us, Comte Poiver.
The honor is mine. Please, sit. It's an honor to assist two such distinguished guests.
Why are we talking into our drink? This feels suspicious. Hawk's companions are a chaotic friend group with Hawk at the center barely holding them together, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I loved that shit. Everyone was so fun. Everyone was so fun, and I don't know why they just like hit me so hard. Coworkers are maybe too detached a word. Everyone is clearly friends except Vivian. Yeah. Vivian is very much like off to herself. Even like where her like home, for lack of a better word, when we go back to Skyhold, like she's very isolated physically as well. So that makes sense. Varric puts Bull's quest best. You've chosen between your people and your people. Yeah. And we're gonna choose the Chargers every time, because those are his men. What do you mean? Vivian is very hot. I don't think she's just a bitch. I think there's a little bit more to it, but it's like a game of politics and stuff that's just like outside of how I think, so it's a little harder to like really nail her down. I'm not here to make friends, I'm here to win. And that's Vivian in a nutshell. Trying to figure out how I came to be sub to you. Do you know Fae are evil? I am unsure, Bardcrest. I am unsure. I don't really know who those people are off the top of my head. Welcome in. You might have been like gifted a sub if that helps, because I know sometimes people can be gifted subs to like random channels. Just came back. Are you in the tea party of the dating sim now? Sure, we are. Absolutely we are, Raging. Raging, you missed everyone having like a nice game of cards. Like, I'm not just making things up now when I say the companions in this game are friends and we like play games together. That literally happened. How about Toby or Sky? I do know Toby. I do know Toby. Do you mean Toby is an Alahobia Toby or a different Toby? I should specify. Everyone but Cass. Cassandra does seem a little bit more detached as well because she's so focused on the mission. Like, girl even feels bad for, like, taking a break to read a book. Yes, they are good people. We love Alahobia. We do out here. They're so great. So that's how I know you. Okay, I'm glad we got that cleared up. But yeah, I adore Toby and Alejo. I think they're so cool. It's almost nearly as bad as you calling Carlos Sainz just a guy. You missed card game. You did miss card games. Sorry, Raging. And I will stand by Carlos Sainz is just a guy. He is just a guy. Okay. What's your information?
Please, tell us what you know.
Straight to business, then. After the murder of Lady Montule's people, I don't suppose I can blame you. Have you heard of the House of Repose?
The Assassin's League?
My contacts obtained a copy of a document in the archives. Contract for life.
Oh.
The House of Repose is hereby sworn to eliminate anyone attempting to overturn the Montillier's trading exile in Orlais.
You could be in danger.
They're not just after your messengers, Josephine. They'll try for you, too.
I am afraid so, yes.
The contract was signed by a noble family. The Du Paraquets.
But the Du Paraquets died out as a noble line over 60 years ago.
Indeed. But the contract was signed 109 years ago.
How can a family try to kill you after they died out?
The Du Paraquets were our rivals. They drove the Montiliers from Val Royaux. This contract was drawn up over 100 years ago, but it wasn't invoked until I tried to overturn my family's exile.
That's wild.
Unpleasant though it may be, the House of Repose is merely fulfilling its contractual duties.
But it's ancient. Cassandra laughs with everyone. She just doesn't remember the rules of the game. And that's so fair. That is, she's got so much going on. You expect her to remember the rules of a card game? The nurse is like, I hate mages, but you, Bethany, I like you. You are pretty cool for a mage. That's kind of Fenris's whole thing with Mage Hawk as well. Because, like, what do you mean you hate me, but then also, like, we're kissing, and we're friends, and, like, we're homies. Like, Fenris is so goofy for that. Mages aren't weak. True. Bethany was not weak. I really gotta play a game where I'm not a mage so that I can actually meet Bethany. So he looks Max's. One in acrylic. That's crazy. Some of the best facial expressions, though. Raging, that's just a man. That is just a real-life man. Unfortunately, I cannot get brainworms for real-life people. I'm past that stage of my life.
If the people who wanted your family dead are gone, why are the assassins still after you?
A contract is a contract, Inquisitor. Our Legion businesses live and die by their reputations. The entire guild's welfare would be endangered if an agreement was tossed aside on a whim of time or fate.
She's quite right, Your Worship. The House of Repose is doing what it feels necessary. By its standards.
It's kind of wild. Alright, Josephine, what's your plan?
I assume you have a thought or two on this, Josephine.
The Du Paraquets still have descendants under the common branch. If we elevate them to nobility, a Du Paraquet could annul the contract on my life.
That will take time, Lady Montilier. Time during which the House of Repose will be obliged to hunt you.
Will they now? You are exceedingly well informed. You're not to have said you'd heard rumors, at best.
A bit of
Ooh,
subterfuge.
she's cooking.
This contract on your life
She
is an ugly
knows.
business. One the House of Repose deeply regrets. But this is Orlais. Even an assassin's word is his bond.
Okay, yep. We walked into a trap. Played as a Mage Hawk, and I was still besties with Fenris. So, the reason I have such issues being friendly with Fenris is because he's always in my party, and I'm always making pro-mage choices that he just cannot agree with. And that's okay. I understand. Did you see the Vampire Lestat trailer? I have, Kel. I'm so excited. I'm very excited. I have no idea what's in store because I've never read any of the Vampire Chronicles books. But I'm so excited. It looks so good. I'm gonna be so normal in April when it comes out. She's sweet on Fenris. Fenris's BFF Sebastian. I have heard that about Bethany. Always play Rogue Hawk because I don't want my little sister to die. Also, I can lockpick whenever. Fair. It must be convenient being a rogue. I just really like casting spells. That is slander. Fenris's BFF is Donic. Fenris can have more than one best friend.
Does Comte Boisvert actually exist?
Absolutely. The Comte's offer to reveal the killers of Lady Montilier's messengers was genuine. So was his information somehow. An end to be tied up later.
I'm guessing the actual Comte Boisvert met with a fatal accident.
Comte Boisvert slumbers in a nearby closet. Nothing more. The contract on Lady
They
Montilier's
put his
life
ass
is
in the
so unusual.
closet is
We
wild.
felt the courtesy of an explanation was in order.
It is appreciated, monsieur.
Your idea to seek out Du Paraquet to revoke our orders is an interesting one. I wish you luck.
Interesting.
I did not
Okay.
come to shed blood today, Inquisitor. Only to speak. Might I pass?
Why the warning?
Why warn us about your contract and let us go?
In Orlais, it is only decent to inform those involved in a contract when extraordinary circumstances conspire.
And the guild's reputation would suffer if you ignored the contract. I quite understand.
Thank you, my lady. May we conclude with my departure?
Sure.
Go then.
I don't want to cause
Good
a
day,
scene.
My lady, I pray we never meet again.
Yeah, me too, because if I regret this decision, I'm going to be very upset. She'll be fine. They won't succeed.
Well, I didn't think our meeting would end like this.
Surely,
We'll deal with these assassins.
surely they won't
I have some
succeed.
thoughts. Let's discuss them back at Skyhold. I'll feel safer with the castle's walls around me.
Yeah,
hear
Skyhold's a safe place.
Oh, goodness. Comte Poivert, is that you? Oh, the lock's been broken off. We'll find a saw. I realize the cabinet is quite valuable, Comte, but surely... A locksmith, then? As you wish.
He really was like, don't destroy this. Go take longer to get me out of here by like making sure this thing doesn't break is crazy. Okay. We got him leveled up. Yeah, Josephine's gonna be fine. We're gonna get her home, and no one can penetrate the walls of Skyhold. Right? She'll be fine. She's gotta be fine. My secret, just don't take him on certain missions, then he doesn't get pissed off. Zenith, that is a great idea. And I was trying to do that, in my Anders Kisser run. But I just really like having Fenris around, so I gotta have to, like, make a playthrough specifically to be friendly with Fenris. So my first playthrough, he was my boyfriend, so he had to be on the party at all times. That's just the law with RPGs. NPCs don't count. They can. They're bros too. He's good. He is Companion's husband, so it almost counts. He does show up to help during the final boss, along with characters like Zevran and Nathaniel. He counts. We'll count on it. Vivian is one of my favorite characters. I find her very fascinating, but I've said before, like, just the way she's written and the kind of person she's supposed to be is, like, just a thought process so different from my own that I have, like, I feel like I have a harder time kind of, like, grasping her motives, which I think probably contributes to why I feel like I'm missing something about her character, because it's just, like, it's the way she is just very much like the political game. And that's just a little... I don't naturally think that way. Which is fine. But she's so interesting to me because she's so different from, like,
What
me.
did the seeker say? Lady Cassandra
So I find her very
feels the connections
fascinating.
with the Varancourt wouldn't be of use, my lady. Of course she does.
Oh, rest in peace. Cracking friendships / rivalry is your friend in Dragon Age 2. And I'm so good at getting rivalry with Fenris. That's, like, what I was born to do, truly. There was that time 2 assassins were sent after Bull after he went to Alvashoth. But, like, Josephine's inside. Bull was outside on the walls. So if she's inside behind several doors, surely she's fine. Can people fit through these windows? She's fine. I'm gonna have to believe that she's gonna be fine. Just not parlaying with slavers usually can secure Fenris's friendship. Okay, work. I can do that. You can max out Fenris's rivalry by the end of Act 1 and you'll never have to worry about it again. And I have. And I have. Every time I play Dragon Age 2. I like her because she's so focused on the game. Arrows fit through those windows. Alright, so Josephine, we're gonna have to like, stay low. I'm sure we can find... Josephine's gonna have to go downstairs where there are no windows. Vivian and Minthara are similar characters, I think. They're both in it to defeat the big bad, but they're also in it to gain power. Yes. Yes, Vivian absolutely is. Minthara's hotter. Minthara's voice is hotter. I would need to look at them at the same time to figure out who I think is the prettiest. I didn't do that on the first playthrough. It felt like I did. It absolutely felt like I did. But I guess to be fair, anytime I got disapproval, it hit really hard because I was still getting used to the rivalry system. Did not do that on the first playthrough, lol. Okay. I guess it just felt like it because I was not used to, like, disapproval being fine. Samanthara's VA wearing an Iron Maiden shirt. I cannot resist. That is so real. Cannot believe someone just compared Minthara to Vivian. Am I tripping? I think just in the motivation of, like, going for power, not anything else about them. Wish Minthara was my mom. Real. Welcome in, Britton. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Minthara wants to commit war crimes with her own hands, but Vivian wants to delegate the war crimes to an underling. Vivian, I think, is very much into, like, the social game of it. And, like, the social power that you can get with power, less so the, like, actually wanting to hurt people. Call her mommy if that counts is wild. You too confused rivalry with disapproval. I did, and I know you guys were trying to tell me, and it still hurt every time I got disapproval in, or rivalry points in Dragon Age 2. Very cynical and jaded person by nature. Or do you mean that in, like, you can relate a little bit to Vivian, or, like, it just, like, matches up well with you? I was watching Creature Commandos this morning. Vivian's VA is in it. Ooh, that's nice.
I'm so sorry, Inquisitor. I never thought my family's trading status would trap us in an assassin's plot.
Girl, that was a shock to me, too.
You couldn't have known it would lead to this House of Repose coming after you.
It still shouldn't have slipped past me. I've tracked down the last Du Paraquets. If they become gentry, they can annul the contract on my life. We'll require a noble from Val Royaux to sponsor them, a judge to provide documents, a minister to ratify them.
It's so like you to take the longest course of action, even when your life is at stake.
What's her plan?
I assume you already know everything about this mess.
There is a faster way, Josephine. The original contract on your life is in the vaults of the House of Repose. If my agents infiltrate it and destroy the original, the assassin will have no obligation to chase you.
Leliana, please. I want no more bloodshed over a personal affair.
Don't be so stubborn, Josie. How long will it take you to gather these favors in Val Royaux?
I want Josephine approval, but I don't need it. It's fine, and I would rather her be safe. Leliana has a point. Can relate to Vivian a little bit. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, she's just very different from me, so it's like a little... I feel like I have not quite fully grasped her character in some ways. But maybe I'm just, like, expecting there to be more when there's not.
If destroying the original contract will satisfy the guild, I say we do it.
But I'm sure my plan will work, Inquisitor.
Whatever happens, I'll assign you more guards. The House of Repose won't be idle long.
Josephine, this is a matter of your safety.
But I still believe elevating the Du Paraquets will solve this. First, we need to perform some favors in Val Royaux. I'd be happy to discuss where we could begin.
Okay. If I speak with Josephine now, am I gonna lose the ability to do Leliana's plan? Because I want to do Leliana's plan because I'm stressed for her safety. No? Okay. We can see what Josephine has planned before we commit. But we're doing Leliana's plan. Say I should do Josephine's? But I'm scared. I am scared.
Why did the Du Paraquets hate the Montiliers so much they set up a permanent assassination watch?
A Montilier and a Du Paraquet fell in love. A young couple, pledged elsewhere, attempted to elope. The whole thing ended so violently, it's a wonder any survived. It's fortunate the Duparaquette's descendants hold no grudges.
Sick. How do you know that?
What if the Duparaquettes refuse to aid you?
I've already contacted the Duparaquettes, Inquisitor. They're ready to help us.
Oh,
It will be a long
okay.
road, but a lordship is a chance to restore a proud lineage to their heirs. Besides, I've promised them a heavy bag of coin once this is over.
Okay. How do they become nobles?
How exactly does one turn farmers into members of the upper classes?
There are procedures for granting honored citizens of the Empire the title of Lord or Lady. Very long procedures. And so much paperwork. I've called in a substantial number of favors just to cut through half of it.
What's our next move?
You said I'd have to do some favors in Val Royeaux if we want to make the Duparaquettes lords.
The Countess Dion is our first step. Her lover, a mage from the White Spire, is missing. Bring her news of him and she'll be very amenable to sponsoring the Duparaquettes as lords.
Okay. They're not gonna take away your ambassador. She's safe. Okay, okay, okay. We're gonna pretend like we know this is a video game then. They have me stressing for Josephine's life. But if pushing Leliana down a darker path is not what we want to do, then we can do Josephine's plan. Alright. Favors in Orlais we will do. Making the Duparaquette's nobility is the key to stopping the assassination plot on Josephine's life. Yeah. Stood for the Old Circle Order. I will see if any of the loyalists gave him shelter. Okay.
Inquisitor?
Was injured on the way back from the Conclave when the insane war erupted between the Apostates and the Templars. I made it to a decrepit inn just before the gash on my leg turned into a fever. Fortunately, when the Inquisition's people found me, they sent for a proper healer. I owe them my life, I'm certain. Told the Inquisition will deliver this letter to you, which is the first peace of mind I've had since the Conclave. Oh, glad we could help. Okay. According to Dorian, it might be possible to discover who Curpheus once was. Knowing he was human could make him less attractive to the Deventer zealots, who think of him as a god. Acquiring this information, however, is more difficult than one might suppose. Such ancient information could be found in the Magisterium's library in Minrathous, but the Grand Archivist has so far repelled our messages with polite misdirection. Dorian says he is the king of this particular castle and knows it. He might be blocking our efforts out of allegiance to Curpheus or simply because he can. Go around him. I can send an agent to infiltrate the archive and find what we need. That sounds like the best plan. I like Savage Leliana more. I am unsure if I want her to be Murder Hobo. We have accidentally gone down that pathway because we did not step in earlier in the game to stop it. The ship has sailed. Yeah. Is it kind of like a scale though? Like the more I do things, that is the more I do things that would be on this like darker path, the farther she goes down it? Or is it like all hinged on that one decision? You did do everything else right, I think. Okay, so the way you say that does make it seem like it's a sliding scale a little bit, and that's fine. Our agent, a mage named Sidoni, returned from Minrathous successful in her task. She posed as a magister's assistant, bluffing her way into the Magisterium's library to ostensibly perform research, and managed to acquire not only the Liberalum, but also a number of other mystical tomes, all without leaving any evidence that traces back to the Inquisition. It may take some time for Dorian to go through the Liberalum, but he is optimistic that something within will prove of use. Beautiful. Okay. We don't need to gather metals. Alright. So do I need to go talk to Josephine again? You need to hit all the flags to stop her from becoming a murder hobo and inspire her. Got it. Okay. Oh, it's speak with Dion in Val Royeaux. We can do that. We can absolutely do that. I feel like I should check in with Dorian, though, after we got the books. He might have something to say about the books. I would like to know if Corypheus was human once, and all the things we could learn about that. Anything less, you get what you have now. Okay. Interesting. She gets savage. Trust me, that's crazy, isn't it?
Always with the questions. What will people say?
That's crazy. Okay, you don't have anything to say about the books.
I should go.
That'll come
Try
in
not
time,
to
I
kill
guess.
anyone without me.
Girl, have you ever not been on the party? You don't even have to worry about that. Okay. We need to go back to Val Royale. Where are we going? Here? Alright. we got Varric and his child, Cole. Handsome Dorian, that mustache has aura of itself. Is it just the mustache for you, Zenith? Varric's card is way more chill now. And I love that for him. Hopefully he's doing better. You know, after that, like, initial, like, telling him Hawk is dead, he seems to be taking it okay enough. After his first little, like, cutscene with that. I'm going to have to play this game again and sacrifice Alistair for Varric. Not all. Darkness, no Hawk, the opposite of light. What? No, wait. When you say not all, oh, you mean he's not all darkness, no Hawk, the opposite. Just put Alistair on the throne this time. I could lie in a world state. That is absolutely true. Or I could just replay all the games. I could just replay all of the games. Not just that, it's also the handsomeness and his charming character, his sassy wit, his deep voice, etc. Oh, so you're just down bad for the entire man. Which, understandable. Understandable. Me too, I fear. Alright. Where are we going? This way again.
You're rather insolent for a servant, aren't you?
You're a
Damn.
mage, not my patron. I've no reason to be polite to you.
Damn.
Your patron is my patron, and he tasked you to accompany me.
To report should any Templars attack you, not cater to your every whim.
Damn. Get his ass. But also not you being rude just because he's a mage. They hate each other. Alright. Oh. Oh, she's right here.
Inquisitor, what an unexpected pleasure. You must have had a long journey to the city. Might there be any news from this house?
He is safe.
Here's a letter from Ellerly. He's safe with his family in the Dales.
Oh, my Ellerly. Oh, bless you.
I'm glad this had a happy
Peons
end.
will sponsor the Duparakets as a family deserving of a noble title, Inquisitor. You have my word. Now please, forgive my hastiness, but I must read Ellerly's words. Make her keep you.
Okay, beautiful. Alright, Josephine! It's working! Your plan is working! I feel like Dorian is that one guy for me. There's always that one guy that you'd swing for, and Dorian is that man. You know what? That's fair. That, you know, understandable. That is so fair. That is one Italian-sounding French woman. Is she? I feel like I've not heard a lot of Italian accents. Like, there's a couple of characters in Date Everything that are, like, Italian accents. But it's not, like, an accent that I hear a whole lot. Mom said, honey, you're wound up tight. I'm like, what's that supposed to mean? Sometimes you come off as aggressive. Damn, rest in peace. Not your mom calling you aggressive. Josephine is Allegra Clark, affecting the Italian accent. Some French women are Italian, like Josephine, for example. Exactly! Just like Josephine. My one is Dorian and not Carlos Sainz. Sorry, Raging. Rest in peace to Raging catching strays out here. Honestly, Dorian's a real one. Out of all the fictional characters I've ever fallen for, he seemed...
The House of Repose decided to pay a visit. The guards arrived in time, but I should have guessed the assassins would infiltrate the servants.
How do I... Are you okay? That's so... I thought she was gonna be fine! This is so sad. See, I mean, she is fine. I was not expecting them to get this far. Anyway, I was saying... I feel like out of a lot of the, like, characters I've, like, gotten down bad for, Dorian is, like, one of the more, like, less evil, morally gray options. Like, he's just a chill guy.
Are you sure they didn't hurt you?
They only frightened me. It was all so sudden. Leliana assigned people to shadow me. They appear to have saved my life. I owe you everything, Sergeant.
Only my duty, Ambassador. I'll talk with the spy master about these murderous louts. She'll find how they got in.
Oh, please do. Okay, I'm glad Liliana's on the case. I trust her.
Master Solas asked that, did he? He said it was at your convenience. No, I'll see to it right away. His hunches are usually correct.
Oh, Solus is cooking. In Velgard, they made Antevans more Spanish than Italian, which was a weird choice considering the plot, in my opinion. Girl, what are you doing? You know, Josephine has me walking in circles like that, too. She's just... What a woman, truly. Okay, I don't know what you mean by that, but I'm sure I'll find out once I play Veilguard. Not for fucking blood. Truly, I'm so stressed for Josie. Okay. What's our next move?
What's the next favor we need to get these Duparakets a lordship?
We need a judge of the royal court to procure documents acknowledging them as nobility again.
Getting a judge favor. Is that a war table? Hell yeah, it is. Lucanus mentions churros. Hispanic, then. More Spanish is a stretch, in my opinion. I just need to play Velgard to see what you guys are talking about. I do think I'm gonna like Lucanus as a character. The little bit I've seen about him, he seems cool. But also, like, every character I've seen so far from Velgard, they are so pretty. Every character is so pretty. Let's just boil it down to romance language. Okay. And you know what? Fair enough. They can be a romance language. Oh. Oh, this whole thing is just war table stuff. I don't know why I thought Dorian was just gonna talk to me and tell me what he found. People think he's underbaked, but I like him well enough. I think Lucanus is very pretty. And I think I know something I'm not supposed to know about him. Which I think is interesting. But I don't know a lot about it. I just know that, like, might be a little bit of relatability between him and Anders. And, you know, being possessed. Or something. I don't know. I'm very curious to find out what's going on for real, and not just what I saw somebody mention in an Anders video essay. If she trips a single nail on anything, it's getting incinerated. Real. Probably going to end up romancing Imric. And, like, I feel like you guys have watched me play enough RPGs and fall in love with Dragon Age characters. Like, you're probably right, but I'm curious. You'll find that out pretty quickly, so it's not a big spoiler. I kind of figured it wouldn't be that big of a deal because it was, like, just, like, thrown in there without any spoiler warning. But I was like, oh, interesting. I don't know who that is, but I know it's Veilguard, and he's pretty. So, he's your favorite one? I do see a lot of really good Lucanus fan art. I also see good Imric fan art as well. There's a lot of good Dragon Age fan artists. That was a good video. I loved that video. I watched it. I was like, damn, they're cooking. It's such a... They have one about Cullen that I'm really excited to watch once I finish Inquisition. I think Imric is fairly likely. And your guys are probably right. I gotta meet him and see who hits. They are Romance language matched in Dragon Age Origins 2 and 3. In Veilguard, there is very little of Italian left. That is what I meant. Okay. Interesting. Clearly glazed over that one. Clearly got a bone to pick. That's fair. It's like in his first mission, like with Anders Dragon Age 2. Okay. I'm very excited to find out. The Cullen video is basically my opinion of Cullen. Now I'm even more excited to watch the video, because, Kel, you have pretty based opinions.
Let's see what we have.
I forgot to read all of that, because I got busy yapping. Anyway, a quiet message arrived from House Amladaris today. Considering the speed of the response, it seems hard to believe the family had no knowledge of what Dorian found in the book. I wonder how long they've set upon the secret, wondering if they might someday come to light. We are most appreciative of the information you provided. How scandalous to think there might be any connection between our house and those fiends of legend. It's not true, of course. And to reassure you on that point, I intend to dedicate my family toward the helping the Inquisition in its righteous struggle. Cool. Hey, can I, like, open that to read it? No. That's fine. We just simply won't know. I think I can piece together, though. They linked Corypheus back to this house. Potentially. Getting a judge's favor wasn't for Reldon. So silly of me. That's a cute opinion. Did a YouTuber give it to you? I do think that comeback, that, like, I don't know if that's a meme or if it's just, like, a thing people say. I do think it's funny. But I also know sometimes I do get media opinions from YouTubers because, like, I'll watch a video and they'll say something. I'm like, oh, I didn't think about it that way. So it's like, yeah, no, a YouTuber did give it to me, I fear. Point is, Corypheus' real name is Sethius? Sethius? Not Corypheus being a Seth. Sethius Amladaris. Cool, okay. Thanks for the recap. Okay. We must have an Orlesian judge sign papers formally requesting we elevate the Duparquets into nobility. I have approached Judge Ald, who's requested a party of Inquisition soldiers meet him in the Frostbacks for a hunting expedition. Some sort of rare spider, as big as a horse. That's horrific. The judge was telling me lives inside the caves a few days west of Skyhold. He would like an honor guard who knows the mountains to show him the way. Commander has kindly found some soldiers he can spare to accompany Judge. Yeah, okay, sure. Yeah, we can send soldiers for spider hunting. His title, Corypheus, means the conductor, not unlike the architect. You know, it'd be cool as hell if we tie all of this into the like shit from Awakening, because they had some really cool things going on in Awakening. Alright, has signed the papers we need to present the Duparquets as nobility again. There is now only one step left. A royal minister must ratify them. Please come see me when you have a chance. Yeah. Of course I will. Anything for her. Anything to keep her safe. Truly. Playing Awakening right now. I loved the way they expanded upon the Darkspawn lore in Awakening. It kind of... I guess, like, warning for, like, Attack on Titan spoilers for, like, midway through Attack on Titan, but it kind of felt like when the talking Titan appeared in Attack on Titan, and that was like, oh, this is kind of a game changer, because we had, like, the Darkspawn talking, but, like, it was really cool. I enjoyed that a lot. Usually really good YouTube videos make me watch the media they are talking about so that I can see if I agree with them, because I like to have informed opinions, but also I like to watch stuff solo when I see it for the first time because I want to mentally chew on a story before coming to opinions. That is so fair. I pretty much only watch video essays about, if it's video essays about media, I only watch it about media that I have already seen or read and care about, because if I am interested in it enough to watch a video essay, I don't want spoilers. So I would rather like watch it first and then come back to the video. I have a couple of like videos that I'm really interested in watching, but I need to finish. I feel like I need to read all of The Summer Hikaru Died before I watch it, because I don't think just the anime was enough. And there's another one that I feel like I need to finish, Toilet Bound Hanako-kun, or like get caught up, not finish, because both of those are ongoing still. I don't mind spoilers. I respect that. I feel like sometimes I don't, but sometimes I do. Like, it just depends on how it's being presented to me. Like, if I just randomly stumble across spoilers, I don't get really upset about it, but I also recognize it does not motivate me to want to watch something, because there are certain animes that I did like, but I got spoiled on them and just never really like got back into finishing it. Like, when I found out how Attack on Titan ended through a video essay, I was like, that's cool. And now I'm like, I don't feel a need to actually like watch the final part of it, because like I know what happens. Jujutsu Kaisen, I've never read the Jujutsu Kaisen manga. I've only seen the anime. But I feel like I know everything about the manga just through like spoilers. So I think in that regard, it's like I don't get upset about seeing it, but I also know the more spoilers I see, the less likely I am to actually finish it or like actually watch it. Because I got that way with Stranger Things as well. Spoilers frequently make me want to watch the thing more. That's fair. That is so fair. That was, I will say, the whole reason I got into Jujutsu Kaisen in the first place is because of the things that I was seeing about season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen. Specifically, like, how devastating it was. And I was like, damn, that sounds good. That sounds really good. You don't... Now you don't actually experience something. Those kids on Stranger Things are in their 30s. No, they're not. I know they're close, because they're, like, not that much younger than me. And I'm pushing 30. Like, I'm 28. They are not in their 30s. No, like, sometimes knowing a spoiler doesn't really, like, hit, because it's, like, I don't... It's not quite the same as the experience, but then also sometimes it's like once you get enough spoilers, it's like, what's the point of experiencing it sometimes is what it feels like if you get like the whole thing spoiled for you. You did have cool things going on in Awakening. Cries and Fieldguard hater. Damn. Awakening isn't ignored. They just never mention it again. And like... I guess I can understand, because in some ways, am I incorrect in saying Veilguard is a little bit less gritty of a story? Because, like, art direction-wise, it looks less gritty, if that makes... I don't know if I'm making sense. But I will say a lot of the lore, like Darkspawn lore in Awakening, is kind of a lot. Like, everything about the Broodmother is kind of a lot. Like, if you're really going to explore that and do something meaningful with it, that's a lot. You would need a lot of, at least a couple content warnings. And it seems like Dragon Age overall is kind of moving away from that, like, darker aspects of storytelling, although it does still have its moments, I would say. But, like, nothing we've come across in Inquisition is as thematically fucked up as a lot of the stuff in Origins, even though, like, there is still gore. That one lady did get eaten by a dragon on screen. There's a lot less grime and gore. Don't even get splattered with gore. I feel like gore in the Veilguard art style would look a little weird, because everything's so colorful and, like, I don't know. It just wouldn't work.
Any news on the House of Repose, Inquisitor?
At least not in the way that, like, it has worked in previous games. Steve, Nancy, and Jonathan are in their 30s. The little kids are in 20s. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Usually when people talk about those kids, they are talking about, like, the main cast of, like, younger children. But you're probably right on the others. They absolutely are. When I saw the trailer for the movie Sorry to Bother You, I was like, oh, this looks funny. I'll watch it eventually. Then I learned a wild-ass spoiler and dropped everything to go watch it. Kel, that was actually me with Attack on Titan. I'd watched the first season around when it came out, like, over 10 years ago, and then I didn't really keep up with it. I actually, like, lost interest and thought it wasn't that great, And then I saw a bunch of spoilers about the rumbling and Eren Yeager, like, trying to commit genocide, and I was like, how the fuck did we get here? And I had to know. I had to go catch up, because what do you mean? Sometimes I'll see stuff that'll be spoilers but doesn't fully inform what something is about. Latest instance was of this 80s remake of The Fly. Yeah, no, that's fair, that's fair. Like, vague spoilers, I think are fine. Like, I've probably seen so many vague spoilers about Dragon Age that I've either misinterpreted, because I definitely misinterpreted some spoilery things I saw about, his name is not Blackbeard. Hello? Blackwall. About Blackwall, and I definitely misinterpreted it, but that's fine. I still had to, like, I was so shocked by the, like, twist that he's not who he said he was. So, like, things like that do not, like, I think that's fine. That does not bother me at all. It's less gritty, but they have been going in that direction since Inquisition. Yeah, like, it's incorrect to say Dragon Age 2 goes that direction, but, like, Inquisition has noticeably been, overall, like, less. Sorry to bother you is about a black guy in a call center who learns he will be more successful if he puts on a white voice, and when he talks with his white voice, he's dubbed over by a white actor that is in the trailer. That's wild. There is one scene, but then it's done. Yeah, it's definitely a lot less present in Inquisition. And the one scene, I don't know if that's a Veilguard thing. It probably is, considering the conversation. Just left in satisfaction with who Mikasa ended up with. Didn't read it at all. And you know what? That's fair. That is so fair. My mom asked me if I believe in love, and I said no. It's a chemical reaction in your brain, so why would I believe in something like that? And I asked her if she believed in love, and she said yes, she does. What do you mean you don't believe in love? Like you don't believe in the fantasy of love, or like you don't think love exists? That's kind of aromantic of you to say. But if you already know you're aromantic, then that's a silly little haha. One scene in Veilguard. Okay, that's interesting. What isn't in the trailer is a wild-ass plot by a crazy billionaire obsessed with horses. Hello? That doesn't even sound like it would be in the same movie. My friends fully spoiled the Blackwall reveal for me, and it was hilarious to play and hear him lie out of his ass. Truly amazing experience. That is so funny. See, when I figured out he was lying, I thought he was just lying about not hearing the call or whatever. Like, I fully believed he was a Grey Warden. Like, I fully believed it. And I just thought he was lying about other things. So it's kind of funny.
What's the next favor we need to get these Duparaquets a lordship?
We must persuade Minister Belize to ratify the papers. She's in charge of these matters of rank. The minister will be at a small fete thrown by the Marquis Wiscott. I'll get you an invitation.
Do we have another party mission? Ooh, okay. Fun. Which is why it's wild. Maybe go see it immediately. I could imagine. Like, how does... Like, just hearing what you've said... I can't even begin to imagine how they, like, make that pivot. Like, do that whole, like, plot thing. Forgive the late reply. Wonderful as it is to hear from you, I have just ridden from trouble in the Dales. The Civil War has made managing my holdings even more difficult. It would be much easier if I had the ear of the Council of Heralds, but alas, fortune has left me poor in that regard. The Inquisitor is always welcome at one of my humble fetes. I only regret that it may not be as grand as I would like. Please, dear lady, promise me you will warn his worship that my preoccupation will preclude a richer evening with my guests. Alright. I have the time and place of the Marquis' party. You must find a way to speak with Minister Belize privately about ratifying the... Yeah, right. Yeah. We got it. Let's go! Oh, wait. I have to physically go. I think? Yes. Are you guys ready for Wicked Hearts and Wicked Eyes Part 2? Or however that quest went? Did you see the one fan art where Solus and Blackwall have liar-to-liar communication? I have not. Please send that to me. Share that. That's so funny. I have not. I did find out, before I even, like, decided I wanted to play Dragon Age, I did find out that, about, like, Solus's deal in Veilguard. At least, like, the very vague basics. I'm not supposed to know that for sure. At least, like, not in Inquisition. You don't even go indoors this time. At least with Vivian's recruitment, you were in the building. Damn. Rest in peace. Alright, we're gonna bring Dorian. We can bring Vivian. It's just gonna be an all mages party. Actually, I'm gonna bring Cole. If we're gonna bring Cole, he doesn't have to go with his father. I just don't believe it exists. Plus, I'm ace, so the thought of being in love makes me raise my eyebrow. Hey, Twisted Beach, have you looked into aromanticism as well as asexuality? You might want to, if you haven't. Vague basics is Solus's bread and butter. I'm glad we got that on par. If you were single, you could mac the judge to win her favor with no catch.
Thank you for seeing me in private,
crazy.
Minister Belize.
I chastise you for taking me from the party, Inquisitor, but the Marquis throws such dull affairs. It's hardly worth it.
Oh, damn.
I assume you wish to discuss your petition to elevate these Duparaquets to a minor lordship. Tell me, why should I allow you to pollute the Orlesian nobility any further than it's already been muddled?
You see, I'm trying to save a pretty girl. Surely you can understand. You don't have to be. I wouldn't do that to Dorian. I wouldn't do that to Dorian. It's the option to sleep with her is labeled Carpe Diem. That's crazy. Haven't looked into Arrow Ace. You might want to, Twisted Beach, not to like sit over here and like armchair diagnose you with aromanticism, but it is giving aromanticism, but you know yourself better than I ever could. So maybe I'm not like hitting it on the head, but you might want to look into that. Alright, they were noble. They're the OGs.
Duparaquets used to be noble. You'd be restoring an old house of Orlais.
Restoring it far too late. What are the Duparaquets now? Traders? Farmers?
Now why are we talking shit about
Really,
farmers?
It is too much. The
She
very
eats
thought
too.
causes me pain.
Girl.
What can you possibly provide that will make your petition worth my effort?
Connections beyond Orlais seem good.
Diplomatic connections that reach far beyond the boundaries of Val Royeaux, perhaps?
I might make use of your ambassador. The Montiliers aren't what they were, but at least they're from proper stock. Arrange for me to be introduced to the court of Antiver. I hear winter is most pleasant by their sea. Very well, Inquisitor. Should you fulfill this bargain, I shall raise the Duparaquets into lordship.
Oh, thank God. Josephine is saved. One of my favorite things posted in an Arrow community was they shared a clip of Whoopi Goldberg being asked why she never got married, and her reply was, "I don't want someone living in my house." And I fear she's real for that. I fear she's real for that. Real as hell. Arrow chat was a lot of people going same. You know, it's kind of funny that it has taken me as long as it did to realize I was on the aromantic spectrum. Because I was a whole ass 24 years old before I realized the signs were there all along, by the way. The signs were there all along.
I must return to Val Royeaux to see that everything is in order. Please join me when you can.
Okay. If you hit on her, it fades to black. Lock the door and fetch me some pillows. That's wild. I'm assuming just then would have been my opportunity. Do I have a little war table mission about getting that thing set up though? Because I feel like we should do that. I'm gonna check. I'm assuming that the opportunity to have hit on her... Oh, it hasn't come up yet? Okay. I was about to say, this feels like it would be here. Girl, I don't know where Antiva is. Okay, I don't have it yet. Yeah, I don't have it yet. Okay, that's fine. Oh, it's done? Okay. I really thought that was gonna be a war table mission. Because everything else is a war table mission. Done off screen? Okay. No opportunity for me to mess up. I knew that.
Noble Chantry loyalists in the city of Jadar are spreading accusations that you're responsible for the Divine's death. They're unusually organized. I recommend we send people to Jadar to deal with it.
We need some propaganda.
Why don't we counter these falsehoods by starting rumors of our own?
A whisper campaign. It would show those in the know we have some subtlety at our command.
And we've not been very subtle, so that would be helpful. Okay. Alright, let's go to Val Royale. We need it here. So here. We're gonna be Dorian. Cole. Vivian. I don't think we're gonna have any combat. So yeah, we'll bring them out. Sub-buttle. That's what we've not been subtle, we've been sub-buttle lately. Someone living in your house doesn't hit hard for me because I live in this bum-ass house with my parents. But like living with your parents, different than having some random-ass person you picked to live with you. I say as if like usually when people are like romantically involved, it's not really some random ass person, but you get it. You guys get it. Unsubtle sub-buttle.
I received a letter from the house.
That's such a Sarah thing to say. Is that Sarah quotes?
Their contract is null and void. There is no longer a price on my life.
Thank God. I'm glad you're safe.
I'm glad you don't have to live your life looking over your shoulder anymore.
I regret we were forced to deal with them. That you were endangered by my part in the game.
Girl, don't even worry about it. I would do it all again.
Did I ever mention I used to be a bard?
That makes sense.
You were a singer.
Bards entertain the Orlesian court. They sing, play music, make charming conversation, and spy. Many young nobles put on a mask and practice playing the game in such a fashion.
Yeah, it checks out that she used to be a bard. That absolutely checks out. Oh, it's from Persona 4? I can't believe they put Sarah in Persona 4. That's wild. I don't think I think I'm... Which one is Persona 4? I think I'm playing Persona 5. I've not played Persona 4. 5 is actually the first one I've played. I'm not very far in. But that's so silly. Also, probably gonna have roommates because I'll probably be broke forever. Barmy, you, me, and like most people in our age group. Everyone I know is either living with a spouse or like living with their siblings or like roommates. Like, I don't know anyone that lives by themselves, for real, for real. Yukiko is kind of like Sarah if she stayed with her noble mom. So, new favorite Persona character. That's fun.
What made you interested in becoming a bard?
I was attending a university in Valroyo when I learned about bards.
I also learned about bards in university.
Stories of secrets, trysts, and fascinating people. A group of us, young gentry from Antiva, decided this exciting life was for us.
And now you're a diplomat.
How did you go from being a wandering singer to an ambassador?
In a very sad fashion.
Oh.
During one particular intrigue, I encountered a bard sent to kill my patron. We fought. Or perhaps scrapped is the better word. Both of us terrified. We were at the top of a steep flight of stairs. The other bard threw a knife, and I pushed him away from me. You can imagine the result.
It was self-defense.
You were only defending yourself.
But it was such a waste, Inquisitor. When I took off his mask, I knew him. We'd attended parties together.
Oh.
If I'd stopped to reason, if I'd used my voice instead of scuffling like a common thug, I'll always wonder who that young man would have grown into.
He seemed willing enough to murder you for the game.
Perhaps. I feel I'm the last to judge whether or not he would have actually used the blade. In all the commotion... forgive me, I don't believe I ever thanked you for helping me with this.
You saved your family with it.
Hold on to it. Don't lose sight of why you came here.
I will never forget you helped save the House of Montilyet, Inquisitor. And should you ever visit Antiva, stories of the welcome we'll give you will be told for years.
So she just invited us to come visit her when this is all over, right? I think I'm Arrow Ace because I'm thinking back to my school years when all my classmates were getting crushes on people. I didn't have any crushes on anyone. I thought there was something wrong with me. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with you, but I'm sure you've figured that out already. But yeah, that does sound like an Arrow Ace experience, Twisted Beach. Welcome to the club. For gay reasons, I had to pretend to have crushes because I was afraid that someone would suspect. And that's totally fair and understandable. I did not realize that, when I was young, did not realize being queer was an option for me. I honestly could not tell you the first time I learned that, like, being gay was, like, a thing that people did. But it wasn't until much later in life that I was like, oh yeah, that could also be an option. But also, there we go. Like, there are a lot of things about, like, I guess, being in a romantic relationship that, like, in theory, I think could be nice, which is probably why I enjoy dating Sims so much, because, like, it's just a silly, goofy time. But, like, to have that for real? I don't know about that. I don't know about all that. Like, I would gladly kiss Dorian every day in this video game. But, like, in real life, I don't know, man. Ooh, we've cleared out the inner circle stuff pretty quick. Okay, so am I... There's so many areas. Okay. I don't think I'm missing any... Can we confirm this plan of attack? I would like to do that, if I could. Main quest next week? I think so. I think so. It does not look like I could get started on it, maybe, but I am gonna... So I feel like every time we do a main quest, the, like, meeting in the war room gets it started. And I don't know if we want to do that right now. Do I have any more to say with Varric?
I can spare some time. What do you need?
Okay. I don't think we have anything new.
Carry on.
Just remember that I even had a boyfriend as a cover. Ooh. Oh, that's crazy. I've realized that a lot of times when I do, like, have crushes on people, especially if they are men, it's either limerence or my brain is treating them like a fictional character. Because I know the most recent time I had a crush on a real life person, it was it was big time limerence, but also once I got over it, once I realized I didn't actually have a crush on this person, I was like, damn, I was really treating them like a fictional character in my brain a little bit. That was crazy. So now we gotta be careful not to do that. I love that Krim is never loaded into his chair properly. Not the Samson slander. Treating real life people like fictional characters. What? So, okay. You know how, like, when you have brainworms for a fictional character and, like, you think about them a lot and they're, like, you just get, like, a little bit obsessed with them? I think I low-key did. It could have also just be limerence, and, like, having limerence feels the same as being obsessed with a fictional character to me. Since most people who talk about being aro are also... I'm aro but not asexual, so it took me a long time to figure it out, since most people who talk about being aro are also sexual. Yeah, and, like, also, a lot of people equate romanticism with... Or, like, what am I trying to say? A lot of people equate, like, romantic love for, like, sexual interest as well. For a lot of people, like, it does go together. So if you're, like, aromantic but still, like, sexual, like, allosexual, or you're asexual but still alloromantic, it can be a little bit, like, harder to figure that out sometimes. Because the way those two, like, orientations, like, types of orientations do usually intertwine for a lot of people. I'm aro and I'm demisexual. I am 100% fully confident in the fact that I am asexual. Aromantic, I go back and forth whether I'm actually aromantic or if it's trauma, but I'm pretty sure I'm, like, definitely, like, on the aromantic spectrum for real. And then, you know, beyond that, it's a mess of figuring it out and ignoring it. But aro ace is definitely a very comfy label for me, and does definitely describe a lot of my experiences. Alright. Oh, we had a cutscene with her.
You have a problem.
I do.
That over there is a full tavern, but everyone's drinking alone. They're all up their own arses about the Inquisition. I can't have fun with everybody whinging, and they'll fall on their swords before Corypheus can push them. I'm thinking pranks.
Oh, she said everyone's
Set a few up,
miserable.
knock a few down. You win or not?
I want them at their best.
You have an odd idea of preparation. I need to keep them at their best.
What's best then, Mopey? Constantly ready for death to fall from the gaping hole up there. I know people. Pissed off and fired up is better than dreary bleary. Come on.
I'm in.
Lead the way.
I'm not gonna
What,
pick the
really?
flirty option.
Really?
We're homies.
I knew you were different. Let's go.
This is so goofy.
Right, general appetite is gone. Have a search about. Find something to mess with. Give your soldiers a laugh. What, the desk? Oh, yes. Center of the Empire and all that. What to do, what to do.
I hope she has a good idea, because I'm actually really bad at coming up with pranks. You didn't get this yet? Apparently not. Just like the thought of another person kissing me, holding my hand, makes me want to jump out of my skin. Understandable. Very understandable, Twisted Beach. I have days like that as well. Does Mopey have a fun side? I am unsure. He's a drowned rat of a man. Leave it all to Sarah, and I will. I'm sure she's got great plans. To go back to roommates and whatnot, I live solo. Moved to Portland mostly because it was a city I could afford to live solo in. Yo, that's sick! I hope you are enjoying living solo. I think I would probably thrive, but I also know that I would stay home a lot and, like, have to make a point to, like, get out and go see people if I did live completely by myself. I still get crushes on people, but I don't necessarily want to be in relationships with them. Yes, no, that's fair. I don't know if I could say the same about myself, J-Train, but I definitely am still very, like, interested in the idea of relationships, as long as they're not, like, a reality for me, has kind of been where I have been sitting for the past few years. Bro's so rich to move to Portland. For me, sometimes it's easier to be, it's easier to not have a lot of money in a city that has, like, a lot of opportunities for things, or, like, a lot of, opportunities for community as well than it is to have the same, like, level of buying power in a more rural area. Probably spontaneously combust if I get a crush because it's been forever. Barmy, that's what I did. Okay, so for anyone that doesn't know what limerence is, it kind of feels like having a crush, but like really insane and really crazy about it, and it's not actually a crush. That's kind of the vibe. I really can't explain why people do that. But it feels awful. It feels awful, I will say. Which probably should have been the first indicator that you're probably not interested in a person if the idea of being interested in them is stressful. Don't need a car. Yes, also living in places where you can use public transportation probably helps a lot. I've never lived in an area where that's possible, so I always forget about that aspect. PDX says discounted rent on certain apartments. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. That's helpful. Landlords get a tax break if 1/4 of their apartments are for people that make less than 30K. Oh, cool.
All right, Sarah. What do you want to do?
Thing looks heavy. Don't want to move or break it. I got it. Easy one. Just a slip or something under here. There, won't notice much, but it's just that little bit wonky. He's so in control that'll piss him royally. I tell one of the soldiers and boom, the general seems like people. And since he works for you, you seem like people. Come on, next one.
She really said, hey, we have to make you seem like a real person.
Right.
Oh,
Little
Josephine.
Lady Prissy Pants. Have a look for something she likes too much.
Oh, okay. Where is this taking me? Oh. Okay.
What, just the door? Where she greets every important idiot. Yes!
Alright, what do we do?
Well, Sarah, what do you have in mind?
Get a bucket.
Not the old bucket trick. She's so goofy.
Classic, yeah? 5 minutes of sloppy boss gets you weeks of happy kitchen staff. Except for the one who cleans it up, I suppose. But whatever. Next stop.
Oh. Not us making more work for whoever cleans that up. Love how Serene, Windley and Sarah look while planning to ruin Cullen's day. Windley just loves to hang out with his bestie. Alright, Leliana? Are we pranking Leliana?
Right, something to get our shadow of birds loosened up. Gotta be something. Have a search.
Fight them? We're not fighting them. All for pranking Cullen, but pranking Josephine just seems too mean. She works so hard. Truly. And like, the way we pranked Cullen just seems like a minor annoyance, but the way we're pranking Josephine feels like it's probably gonna have more consequences. But that's okay.
What's that? A locked... No, leave that. Not interested in her hidden things. Not for just a bit of fun. Maybe feed her messengers something gassy? No, birds don't pop. But they flap and...
Who is up there?
Run.
Go!
Okay, so Leliana's was just getting caught. That's so goofy.
That was fun. An inquisitor of the people, still remembering you're one of them. If all they got was the herald stuff, the serious bit, you'd start to sound pretty scary. That works, but not for long.
Anything to keep us inspired.
Whatever it takes. I'd start throwing pies if it kept people inspired.
Pies is so good. And Coryphanus would never do that. Good thing for you, innit? Because from the bottom, everyone up top sort of seems the same. Anyway, fun time, Inquisitor. You! Oh, frig. You did it!
Not her pinning it all on me! That's okay. I'll take one for the team. Sorry, Josephine. Breaking people, such clown behavior. And Sarah is a little bit of a clown. Like, she just is. I don't know what you want from her. Succeeded at not being a narc. I had to read the vibe. It seemed like Sarah would have more fun running, having a little scatter moment. When you first moved here, you lived in one of those. I'm glad you had that option, Kel. That sounds like a very helpful thing for them to have in place.
Worship.
Okay. I think that is where we're gonna end things for tonight. We're gonna save our game. Okay. Now we're gonna exit to the menu. I'm kind of surprised my internet didn't dip out at all during stream. This is like the first time in like 2 weeks that it did not die at night. Next week sounds like a doozy. No, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Whatever's gonna happen, just know that we're gonna play card games with the homies every day, and that we're gonna play card games with the homies every day, and we're going to kiss Dorian, because like what else would we do with our lives, and get the stories for Josephine. Lucky that you just saved Josie's life, and so she would not have to remember her old bard tricks to teach you a lesson. That's crazy. Maybe that could have been our enemies to lovers arc, but also that's wild. Not saving her is just not an option, unfortunately. Say your motherfucking prayers, Inquisitor. I'm gonna have to look this up because I could not see her doing that. That feels so like out of character for her. Card games with the homies, Uno win. Raging, I would love to play Uno with you and Hannah. I feel like the crash out would be monumental. I feel like the competitiveness of that Uno game would be incredible. I will have to turn both of you guys down in Discord if we were to play Uno though, because I feel like it would get very loud. There would be a lot of yelling. We should tomorrow. Sick. We should. I don't have Uno. I'm not sure if Hannah does either, but we can make this happen. We can play Uno. It doesn't happen. Don't bother. Oh, damn. That would have been interesting, though. Like, pushed to her absolute limits to save herself just to threaten the Inquisitor. Wild. Wild stuff. She's a professional. She knows that the Inquisitor is under Sarah's bad influence. She said, Windley would never. Windley would absolutely never. That's gotta be all Sarah's doing. Okay. That is it from me tonight. People over on Twitch, how do we feel about raiding into Alahobia? I know we've been going there a lot lately, but that is just where I'm going to be after stream, is pulling up Alahobia. Toby is streaming Helldivers 2. I think it's just a Toby stream tonight. That's where I'm thinking of sending y'all. But anyway, that is it for me tonight. I hope you guys had a wonderful time. People on YouTube, I will be seeing you guys same time next week. It's next Tuesday, where we pick up where we left off, progressing the plot, seeing what's going on with Corypheus. And then people over on Twitch, Thursday we'll be streaming Slay the Princess. I don't know if we'll be able to finish the entire game, but we're definitely getting started, and I'm very excited about it. Had a fun time tonight. Have a great rest of your night. You as well, J-Train. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for being here. All of you guys, thanks for being here. I am very glad we had no tech issues tonight. It's been the first time in a while. But anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening. Those of you on Twitch, I hope you enjoy spending some time with Toby tonight, and I will see you guys all next time. Good night!